Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we speak with the folks at Classic Car Club of America Museum. Did you know that there was such a thing, Jeffrey?
I did.
You did?
I'm the international correspondent. I know these things.
International correspondent. My foot. Jeff has this week's racing calendar, and Mr. Mars offers a review of the 2024 Nissan Z Nismo. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks so much for joining us on our live program on this Saturday morning. Our Director of Engineering, IT Master himself, David Ainsley, is sleeping in this morning.
Vacation, back from his vacation.
He's back from his 3-week lounging in the, basking in the sun of
the
Southern Canada and Northern America.
The Southern Arctic Circle.
Pretty much, yeah. He has a summer place. Actually, it's a place all year round, but you don't go there in the wintertime because you can't get there.
Can't get there from here.
Anyway, that's another story for another day. Welcome, everybody. Last week, we were hurricaning it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We didn't have electricity here at the studio for 4 days. So it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it came back on Thursday. Now, this is a week ago, so I have to back up. And I had to make the call of whether or not we're going to attempt to do the show without electricity at the moment to make the decision. So I made the decision, and then boom, about 4 hours after I made the decision, the electricity came back on.
Well, it's best that we didn't.
I know.
Yeah.
And we had a repeat of the big show, really big show that we had up in Granbury for the Lone Star Street Rod Association. I listened to part of that, and that was really a good show. We had a good time up there, and it wasn't as hot at the beginning of the show as it normally was.
Oh, yeah.
The weather. Of course, it warmed up quickly in Granbury. Granbury, by the way, is just south of Fort Worth. So
a little bit.
Yeah. But at any rate, that is a thing in the past, and now we are in the future, and here we are on a Saturday morning
ready
with
to go
our
back to Granbury.
live broadcast. Yeah, we are ready to go back to Granbury.
But
in the meantime, we can go other places.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Thankfully, with Zoom. And joining us right now is our first guest of the morning, John Hanson. He's the Executive Director of the Classic Car Club of America Museum. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
Well, we're doing great, man. Where are you?
Well, so this morning we're kind of starting off in the original barn of the Classic Car Club of America Museum. This is known as the Thomas W. Barrett Barn. Tom Barrett of Barrett Jackson's auction was the gentleman that paid to relocate this barn and reconstruct it here on the campus of the Gilmore Car Museum in Hickory Corners, Michigan, which is where our museum is located. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning up here. This weekend is the weekend of the Horseless Carriage Club of America's annual event on the campus of the Gilmore. So we've got a lot of brass era stuff running all over the campus. I had a ride this morning in a 1912 Simplex, which is why my hair is a little windblown. So there's a lot of activity here this weekend, but there's activity here every weekend, of course.
Well, I can only imagine. Tell me exactly where this is in Michigan. What is it, close to a big city anywhere?
So, if you've never heard of a city called Kalamazoo, we are just about 20 minutes north of Kalamazoo. Hickory Corners is a very small town, but the Gilmore Car Museum is situated on a 90-acre campus just outside of Hickory Corners, just north of a large inland lake called Gull Lake. As I said, just north of Kalamazoo.
Interesting. Gilmore, not any relationship to the sponsorship that A.J. Foyt had, huh?
Yes.
It is.
All the same kind of family, yes.
I'll be. Well.
Yep. The museum was originally founded by a gentleman named Donald Gilmore. The museum opened in the mid-'60s. Started with one barn and a small collection of Donald Gilmore's personal cars, and has since grown to I think they're just shy of 400 cars and several partner museums. So we are one partner museum of the Gilmore Car Museum. The other partner museums being Model A Ford, Cadillac, Pierce Arrow, Franklin, and so on. And so we are the original partner museum of the Gilmore Car Museum. So the CCCA Museum, of course, is independently managed from the Gilmore. We manage our own collection, and so it's a very interesting arrangement.
Now, you mentioned brass era cars, but that's just a portion of the museum?
Well, yeah. So, one of the other partner museums is the Museum of the Horseless Carriage, and so all the partner museums have their own annual weekends. We just had our own annual weekend called The Experience. We had 9 Duesenbergs show up from across the United States. We had a beautiful display of 40 full classics. Just an absolutely amazing show. The show was 2 days here on the campus of the Gilmore Car Museum, and then we had a 3-day driving tour immediately following the experience. And so each partner museum has their own annual event. And so just as a way of kind of showcasing the cars that each of our partner museums celebrate.
I assume that they trailer these cars, especially the brass era cars, to the museum and to these events.
Typically, yeah, but not all the time. For our experience, a lot of people drove in. Some people did transport, but yeah, there's a lot of transporters on the field this weekend.
and obviously, what a great vacation destination. You don't. For us down here in Texas, Michigan is not top of mind when it comes to a vacation destination. But I will tell you that I have spent some time in Detroit. Jeff is from the Detroit area, and I will tell you that the Henry Ford is a museum, and that would be a destination for anybody to go to, and I'm sure that yours is not that far from there. You could make it a summer vacation, a road trip, if you will, and do a week in Michigan easily.
You could do a week in Michigan, but even just beyond Michigan, and of course our museum being focused on the classic era, so 1915 to 1948, there are a large number of museums sort of within a 150-mile radius of Hickory Corners, Michigan. You mentioned the Henry Ford, and that's that's extremely accurate. Our museum, which displays nothing but full classics, the Auburn Ford Duesenberg Museum in Auburn, Indiana, which is an hour and a half away from us, Studebaker Museum in South Bend, which is even slightly closer than that. There's the REO Olds Museum in Lansing, the Will St. Clair Museum in Marysville, the Stalls Museum. There's such a wonderful collection of full classics on display in a variety of different museums. Of course, our museum, we're about 45 cars that are strictly full classics. So we sort of look at all of these wonderful museums sort of situated within about 150 miles of us that are very, very easy to get to. And so if you are a fan of the classic era, there is a lot to see in this region.
So if I were going, I'm sorry, Jeff.
No, I was going to say, so are all these vehicles have private owners or just consigned to the museums? And are any of these vehicles for sale?
No, none of the vehicles are for sale. And actually, our museum, we own we own all but 4 of the cars on display in here right now. We have a temporary exhibit called Power and Performance, which features a Bentley, an Auburn, and a Duesenberg, and all 3 of those cars are loaned to us right now. The only other car that's on loan to us is this beautiful Stutz behind me, 1930 supercharged Stutz. But past that, no, the museum owns all the other cars, and no, they're not for sale.
Yeah, you wish.
Good try.
Because I'm sure that you would probably have a few in your own collection.
Yes, absolutely. But the best part for me is I get to come here every day and play with these cars, handle them, drive them. About 75% of the cars in the museum start, run, and drive, and we run them pretty regularly. Every Tuesday, we have a team of volunteer mechanics that come in and work with the collection, keep them running, keep them exercised. And so we've constantly got something out and about that we're driving.
I can only imagine that you would have a stash of tires somewhere, or at least access to tires, because, my gosh, if they're sitting in the museum for decades on end, I would imagine that some of them can get kind of brittle at times.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's obviously some cars in the collection are sort of, designated as kind of campus running only. Where they can go out and our campus here at the Gilmore, as I said, it's 90 acres, so we have a small oval test track where we can run the cars on. There's I think a couple miles of pavement. Just on the museum campus where we're able to run the cars and keep them exercised, keep them running. But then we have other cars that I just got done with a 350-mile tour in a 1938 Lansfield-bodied custom Buick that went into northern Indiana for the 3-day driving tour. And the car handled beautifully, and so some of our cars are ready for tours like that as well.
It's funny you mentioned these tours. We down here in Texas don't have, clearly, the collection that you've got up there as far as museums are concerned. And all I could think of is, wow, what a great vacation. Fly into Detroit, do the Henry Ford, get your rent car, and do the tour up there to all the museums. Unless you, of course, are lucky enough to have a classic that you can take, 1,500 miles one way. Sure. Are hotel accommodations nearby, and are there campgrounds nearby?
Actually, the museum offers on-site camping with power, so it's not primitive. And so, there's a really nice camping area on the campus. There's lots of shade. I've camped there myself a couple times. It's a great spot to camp. But yes, in Kalamazoo, there are nice accommodations. And again, it's a 20-minute car ride to get from downtown Kalamazoo out to Gilmore. So it's really pretty, it's pretty easy. And it's a nice drive because you drive around Gull Lake and, see the beautiful water and the lovely homes and everything else. So it's not a bad drive to get out here at all.
So Kalamazoo's not far from Battle Creek, so you can stop for breakfast at Battle Creek,
right.
All the Kellogg stuff.
I was just going to say, we could take a tour of the cereal factory.
There you go.
Get yourself some cornflakes.
You were talking about keeping the cars exercised. Is that like a position the person can apply for? Is just to exercise?
Yeah, we would like to be on the athletic staff so we could, drive the car.
Check out our abs.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ever come up from Texas, give me a call. We'll get a car out and take it for a ride. That would be wonderful.
Oh, that would be great. Now, is there a fee to get into the museum?
Yes, admission into the Gilmore gets you access to all of the Gilmore buildings as well as all the partner museum buildings, and I believe it's $20 a person. And it is a full to see all of the cars and all of the buildings. It's a long, full day. With approaching 400 cars on display, there's a lot to do here. The Gilmore runs a program called Ride the Classics that we occasionally participate in as well. 5 days, 5-6 days a week, the Gilmore's got cars out on the campus, old cars that people can jump in and ride for free. There's it's a beautiful historical campus. There's just a lot to see. There's a lot to do. So it's a full day.
I can only imagine the weather up there at this time of the year is tolerable. That's what we'd say from Texas,
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. So what? Yeah. So what? High temperature today? What? 80?
Yeah, we might hit 80. Yesterday it was probably in the high 70s, and there was a nice breeze blowing. It was a good, just a great day up here yesterday, and they're expecting the same today.
Yeah. And now is the museum open year round?
Our museum is open year-round. Last year was the first year that the Gilmore has been open year-round for a long time, but our museum typically used to close in November and reopen in April. But last year, for the first time, we stayed open year-round, which we will continue doing from now on.
Wow. Well, that's good, because I was going to say, people that their families have all grown up and moved away and that sort of thing. A lot of folks, especially as you get a little bit older, vacations, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all of that. Granted, the weather may be iffy at times, as being a Wisconsinite from way back when, I can tell you that. But, I would imagine that you probably get some folks up there at Christmas time.
Oh, absolutely. The campus actually decorates for Christmas, and they actually do a driving light display that you can come and drive all around the campus, and they really do a wonderful drive through the lights kind of display called Winter Wonderland, which helps get people here in winter as well. And so, yeah, like I said, there's always something going on out here.
Is there generally snow there that time of year when you're doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so I can see from down
starting
here.
around November.
Come on, Mars.
Well, I mean,
You've never even been up there. You don't even know what it's
that's
like.
the reason I'm asking. But I could see why you go up there. If I'm going that far, I want a little snow.
Yeah,
I
but
want to leave it and come back here. But I'd like to see
the
it.
only ice he's seen is in his glass.
That's right. Oh, my gosh. Well, John, it's great to talk to you. Classic Car Club of America Museum, the Gilmore, the whole collection up there. Central Michigan, is that what you would call it?
Southwestern
Michigan.
Southwest Michigan.
Southwest, okay. All right, well, it's great. Hopefully, one of these days, we'll be back up there and we'll get to talk to you. Anything new and exciting, feel free to give us a call. We'll have you back on and we'll talk about it.
That would be wonderful. Thanks so much for your time this morning, guys.
John,
You
thank
bet.
you.
Thank
We
you, John.
appreciate you. All right.
Very cool.
I'll say. Let's take a break, shall we? Hey, you can get the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour live show every week on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Glad that you could join us. Time now for Jeff's Racing Calendar Rundown.
Okay. Who's that sponsored by?
Sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge. Thank you for asking.
Well, we got NASCAR coming up. It's actually this weekend. Tomorrow is Indianapolis. They come on at 2:30 Eastern. It's on
is that the
NBC.
road course?
No, it's on the full track. I believe.
Oh, it is?
I believe it's the full track.
Okay.
But tickets are available, Mike, in case you want to go. Take your mom.
Yeah.
And then F1, you get the Hungarian Grand Prix in the Silverstone Circuit.
With an accent.
Yeah, Hungarian. Well, yeah.
Goulash.
Goulash. It's the Goulash Grand Prix. And then NHRA, the Flavor Pack NHRA Northwest Nationals in Seattle. It's at 4 p.m. It's on Fox, actually, but it's probably going to be a rebroadcast. Who knows? They never have it live.
John Force apparently is doing better.
Yes.
But he's still in rehab.
Right.
And I saw a post yesterday that they're hoping to have a replacement driver for his peak antifreeze car. I guess they're going to announce that after this race.
I think that might be Double E. 5-time? 6-time?
6-time Pro Stock? No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, just
Not
a
yet,
thought.
anyway.
Well, that's a wish. Anyways, you got the last one. You got Indy in Toronto. That's tomorrow. It's on at 7 p.m. It's probably on a local channel up there in Canada. So, hey, go watch it.
And if you're wondering who that fourth person is down there at the end, it's Craig Bierman. He's going to be with us at the bottom of the hour.
I don't think that's his real name.
That's really not.
No, it's not.
We're going to check his ID.
I think so.
It's Gloria Vanderbilt. All right. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars has the 2024 Nissan Z Nismo.
That you happen to have sitting in the driveway.
Well, I know, and it'll be a couple of weeks before I get to that review. So you're going to kind of do the preview review.
I'm going to do the preview review.
Don't look at his paper.
So the 2024 Nissan Z Nismo. Now, this is the 7th generation of the Z car. It started out as the 240Z, went through several different numbers as they changed it, and they finally just said, the heck with that. We're going to get smart. It's just a Z. And it's a Nismo. It comes in 3 different packages. You can get a Sport, a Performance, or the Z Nismo. Now, the Sport and the Performance standard with a 6-speed manual transmission. But if you want an automatic, they'll give you the 9-speed automatic with no charge. Now, the Z Nismo that we're going to be talking about
Wait a minute. No charge. No extra charge.
No extra charge, excuse me. Yes. No upcharge. No, you don't have to pay extra to get the automatic. And then the Z Nismo that we're going to be talking about, you can only get that in an automatic. This is a 2-passenger car. It's very track-oriented. It's got the classic Z styling. So it's got the really long hood, the short deck in the back of it, and it sits low to the ground. And it's got the heritage-inspired LED headlights and tail lights. Got the daytime running lights on it. All of it's LED, automatic on and off. It's got the Nismo front and rear fascia. I mean, this is specific to the Nismo brand. You can't get it on the other 2 models. The side sills, the rear spoiler, the heated outside mirrors, they're all styled in a Nismo styling, if you will. And it's got some exclusive Nismo 19-inch lightweight
I'd like you to try to
aluminum wheels.
describe the Nismo style.
He just did.
I did. It's sleek.
Okay, just check it.
Low.
Yeah, it's sleek and
Like
low.
me, it's the Don Armstrong Nismo styling.
That's not on a tow truck.
Well,
Or
yeah,
Ray styling,
exactly.
as it were.
Now, on the inside of it, it's got again, very track-oriented. It's got the Nismo Recaro seats in it, and it's also got a special Nismo steering wheel. It's all got a red push-button starter that I really like. The little start button, it's red. It's like, hit this button, but don't do it after you get going. It's got aluminum trim on the pedals. It's got a digital 12.3 digital meter display. Now, we used to call that a gauge package. And that's where you're going to find your drive computer. You've got all kinds of things like the G meter, the programmable shift lights in there. And then on top of the dash, there's a 3-bay gauge cluster that gives it that real sporty trick looking that, this is a race car kind of look. Now, it's also got a 9-inch touchscreen down below that, and that's where you're going to find all your convenience controls like your nav system and the Nissan Connect infotainment system. And you're going to control your 6-speaker Bose audio system with active noise cancellation from there as well. Now, you get up under the hood, and it's got a 3.0-liter V6 turbocharged. Now, the regular to the standard Sport and Performance have 400 horsepower, but the Z has 20 plus. So it's 420 horsepower, 384 pound-feet of torque with a 9-speed automatic transmission. And I will say the thing I like about this car, when you get ready to shift it with a paddle shifter, a lot of times you hit the shift and it'll take it 3 or 4, maybe even 600 RPM for the shift to actually happen. Well, this one, you tell it to shift, it's going to shift. You're not going to go, you can hit the red line without going over it very much at all. Now, this EPA says you should expect to get 17 miles to the gallon in the city, 24 on the highway, 19 combined. Now, I will say, and I took a picture of it, over the 282 miles that I drove it, I got a 26.1
You took
average.
a picture of it because you thought you were going to lie to us and say something else.
Yeah, it took me a lot of time to get this to done. Now, ride and handling, it is track. It's very firm. It's got a very track-like steering on it, so it's very responsive, particularly when you put it into the sport mode that it has. And it's got the Nismo suspension, so it's a little rougher, and it sits a little bit lower. And it does have a larger brakes on it. The disc on the brakes are much larger. It's got low seating, so when you're setting down in this thing, particularly after you get in it with the Recaro seats, the blind spots on the pillars, to me, are considerably bigger because of the slope on the roof and stuff. It just seems like there are bigger blind spots. Now, base model for one of these is $42,992, which is not bad. But the base trim price for the Z Nismo is $64,990. Now, as tested, our car had a few little options on it, so it pushed it up to $68,690. Look for something to compare it to. The Toyota GR Supra starts at $46,440. BMW 2 Series is $38,400. And just for the fun of it, I threw in the Mustang because, as far as I'm concerned,
you didn't throw in the Corvette?
No.
Why?
I didn't think about it.
Oh, okay.
I threw in the Corvette because I was thinking, the Mustang, because, as far as I'm concerned, it's a two-seater. Ain't nobody could sit in the back seat of that thing. And it starts at $30,920.
Wow.
And that's my review of the 2024 Nissan Z Nismo. And I'm really interested to see what you got to say about it in a few weeks.
That'll be 2 weeks.
He's gonna whatever Mike said last week. That's it.
Actually, give me that. You've already done the homework. I'll just take that.
Yeah, take all the notes.
I'll take all the good stuff out of it. I got some recalls to tell you about. I know that everybody's got one of these, the Fisker Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
For 23 and 24 model years, the water pump failure can cause loss of drive power. Okay, I don't know how that happens unless it's water propelled. Ram and Chrysler parent Stellantis said Thursday it's recalling about 24,000 plug-in hybrid minivans worldwide because of fire risks, and urging owners to park outside and away from structures pending recall repairs.
Park next to a Fisker.
And what are you currently driving, Mars?
A Chrysler Pacifica hybrid.
Well, it seems that the 17 through 21 model year Chrysler Pacifica hybrid includes about 19,500 U.S. vehicles. Companies aware of 7 incidents that occurred when the vehicles were turned off, and some occurred while recharging, as well as 4 customers who reported symptoms consistent with smoke inhalation.
He's going to go out there after the show and it's going to be a pile of ashes.
I was saying, I parked it next to a pile of wood. From the storm that's out there, and I thought, we're going to have a heck of a bonfire.
S'mores.
I smell something. Stellantis said the events are linked to a rare abnormality in individual cells of the model's high-voltage battery pack. Vehicle risk is reduced when the battery charge level is depleted, and the company said owners are advised to refrain from recharging. Company is working on a software update designed to detect the abnormality, and if found, dealers will replace the vehicle's high-voltage battery or batteries.
Or put an ointment on it.
Or put some ointment on it, Band-Aid. Hyundai is recalling 54,000 vehicles in the U.S. because of malfunctioning fuel pumps that may cause loss of power. 2019 to 23 Genesis G70, 19 to 22 Veloster N, 22 to 23 Elantra N, and 22 to 23 Kona N. There's that.
Okay.
And I think I'll save the rest of them for a while later so we can make fun of and have a few laughs to somebody else's dismay.
And giggles.
Yeah. But anyway, so those are some of the recalls that we'll get to this hour more later. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. We'll be back in a flash.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont. It's on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is on the air. Ahead, Craig Bierman and the upcoming Texas Elite Auto Showcase. Later, Jeff has this week's Motor Minute. Are y'all telling secrets down there?
Yeah, we are. We're talking about you.
Oh, God. Probably.
Short stories.
Speaking of stories, I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live broadcast. We broadcast the show live every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. If you can remember that, we invite you to tune in for that.
Nap time is at 1.
Well, absolutely, if not before. Mm-hmm. Joining us in the studio today, is in-studio guest, which is rare.
I know.
And it would only be you. And we appreciate
We've had
you.
two. We've had two in studios, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah, we've had a couple over the years. Mm-hmm. Craig Bierman, the proprietor of Speed and Sport Chrome Plating, and also the founder. I'm going to try to build this up.
Okay.
That doesn't need any build up. The Texas Elite Auto Showcase, which is a brand new car show, first ever, coming up at NRG Center.
Yep.
And are you excited about it?
We're excited.
Yeah, I know you've been working your butt off.
Oh, gosh.
Dude, you
forgot
what it was like. You know, I have to tell you that one of the first events that I ever went to with my old 1977 Corvette was a car show that he had at his original Speed and Sport location at the corner of Fondren and the Southwest Freeway. And the entire parking lot, now that's a strip center, but it also had a Kmart in the back of it back there. Filled up this entire enormous parking lot, traffic jam out front. And somebody actually brought a nitro car there. I remember them starting it in the parking lot. Oh, my God.
Those are the days.
It was chaos.
Yeah, we had 1,200 cars show up to that. 1,200.
1,200 cars in that park.
What year was it?
Oh, gosh. 78, 9?
Something. Man, I thought it was in the 40s, but
yeah, I know it seems like that. But it was nuts.
it was unreal.
It was. And so this show, well, you've had several shows since then, but they were more along the lines of parking lot shows that kind of was a thing
Weekend
for
thing,
speed and sport.
Yeah, nothing indoors. Indoors is a whole
Another level.
Yeah, it's a much bigger.
And you got the guy helping you with this, Steve Green, who's a friend of ours, and met him through Autorama.
Yes,
and he's very well schooled at how to do these indoor shows.
He knows more than anybody when it comes to it.
Yeah, and checking in car. There's a whole thing. When you go to an indoor car, any kind of car show, really. Not I'm talking about a cruise in, but I'm talking about a real honest-to-God car show. Mm-hmm. There's parking, there's taking tickets, there's people registering for the stuff.
Yep.
I mean, there's a whole layer of stuff that most people don't, all that, that people don't really know about. But this is really a first at NRG Center.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the way this started is Steve had been running the Autorama for 17 years, and I've been doing it for probably 25 or something. But It's Thanksgiving weekend. You want to be with your family. It's a cool show, but it's 4 days, and it's tough. It really is. So we thought, we're both kind of burnt out on it, getting old. We're going to put our own show on at NRG, and it's just a 2-day show. 2-day show.
Because for Steve, Autorama starts years, but he moves in. Him and his team, I think he told me they move in on Monday night.
That's right.
And they're there until the following Monday
Yeah,
morning.
so there's
That's
like
right.
3 weeks.
Got a crew of about 15 people. Those 15 are with me and him now. They don't work for Autorama anymore. So we're
Really?
Absolutely.
Is Steve still going to do Autorama?
Yeah, because when you run Autorama, it's his crew. The guy that owns Autorama paid Steve. He don't care who he brings. It's up to Steve to do
okay.
everything. So all those everything are all on.
Yeah,
with
so he
Steve
brought
and I
all
now.
those people because he also
That's
does
right.
Dallas, and I think some of them go up there with
none
him.
of those will he be doing anymore. He's putting all his time in there. We already got a guy that wants us to do a show in Dallas already,
Oh, wow.
but we're trying to do our first show here first.
Yeah. Really? You didn't
Yes.
tell me about that.
Yeah, I got a guy that
See, breaking
Got
news.
a guy. He knows a guy.
Breaking
Yes.
news.
Yeah.
and quality wise, it's much higher quality than Autorama.
It's a different style of a car, too.
Yes.
What do we expect to see there? So what makes it different?
Well, we thought we would mix in some exotic cars, and found out that's a kind of a different breed of people, the exotic, and we will have some.
Well, you're part of that exotic.
Yeah, you've got some collections.
And
I mean,
you're definitely different.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I can say that.
You're here.
That's right. But I think we're going to have, we're going to have a good amount of cars there. And if you've ever been to Autorama, the bigger cars in the front have what they call a 20 by 20 display in the front.
Yeah.
Not a 10 by 20, a 20 by 20. That's usually with carpet and mirrors and all that.
Turntables.
Oh, yeah, all that. Well, at Autorama, there's usually about 10 in the front and 3 or 4 spread out. They have 13 to 15. We have registered right now of those. We have 45 of those already registered at our show.
And a 20 by 20.
20 by 20s. I mean, it's beyond belief. The quality is definitely the best car show, finest car show indoors ever in the state of Texas.
Well, it's a different crowd. Because, I look at Autorama as kind of like anybody and everybody. If you had, Mom's 95 Buick Century, you could enter it in Autorama.
Yeah, it's gotten that way, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of evolved that way because, quite honestly, a lot of people that are like our age are not really adding to the collection or showing
right.
stuff. And so you kind of got to go with what shows up.
Well, he said that, it's not a crowd. I wouldn't call it a crowd. I'd call it a different brand of enthusiasts because there are different levels of car shows and different level of car owners.
right.
You got a guy that's maybe a Japanese domestic or maybe an old Nova, and then you've got your Ferraris and your Lamborghinis
That's
and
right.
your Porsches. So there's a different grade of classical showings.
And this show we're having is 90% classic and hot rods. But if you go to Autorama, there is 0% of exotics in there.
Right.
This is 10% probably. And what we will have there, I'm sure very few people have ever seen. There'll be a Pagani there. That's about a $6 million
Well, you know who
car.
your connection to all that is John Gray.
Actually, it was over at the Asylum. Jeff Pate, remember?
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
he's.
Oh, I see.
That's where these upper end cars came
Where
from.
is the asylum?
It's over on what is that? Something like Renwick around Bel Air Boulevard or something like
It's
that.
in Bel Air, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I go there all the time.
Kind of where Ken and Gary Neighbors used to have their shop.
Yeah, there you go, close to Gary.
Gotcha.
And just got to remember, anybody wants to enter, we can still enter. We still got time. It's 3 weeks away. But when you show, you can only have versus an outdoor show, you can only have a quarter tank of gas, or you're not getting in.
Right. Fire marshal.
Fire marshal, yeah.
Well, that's standard.
And there's a big difference in an indoor and outdoor show now.
Yes.
There's no comparison of the quality. And you say, well, there's good quality cars at outdoor. Yeah, but I mean, you got to spend time in cleaning it and all that. Really nice for an
But
indoor show.
if you want to compete
That's
at,
right.
at an upper level, and God knows I had to learn the hard way. And matter of fact, I remember seeing your old Corvette, the one that was painted pearl white,
Yep.
on the turntable at the very first
Albert
Texas,
Thomas Convention Center.
at the Albert Thomas Convention Center, the Texas Corvette Expo.
Expo.
Yep. And he, Mr. Smooth Talker
Yeah.
over here. What does he do? He gets the top spot. So you come up on the escalator, it goes up on the second floor. You can imagine the logistics of trying to get all those cars there. Come up the escalator, and you get off the escalator, and whose car do you see? His on a turntable. It's like, oh my God,
Gleaming.
gleaming, of course, but every attention to detail that you could imagine, and most of the Corvettes that were there. Mine, I had no clue what I was doing, didn't know how to show a car. I had the hood closed,
Yeah, the mud
I had
flaps.
the doors closed, the windows rolled up, and the car locked.
So nobody could see in it.
No.
Nobody
Judges.
could see in it.
They
No.
can't judge.
Speaking of faux pas,
Don Armstrong.
what are you showing? What is your personal collection going to be?
I'm not. I don't think I'll have time. I don't think I'm going to be able to have time to bring anything. But
Really?
let me tell you that a lot of changes in the show versus Autorama, and y'all will know this. Some people don't. They're going to put you in a classification when you come in.
Right.
So you'd say you're in restored. You're from 64 to 70. There's a million classes. Not us. Everybody's against everybody, and there is no classes. We have professional judges. What top 100 win? Top 100, and then you still have your best of truck, best engine, best paint, best display, best rod, best everything. But the top 100 win. So the Ferrari is against the 64 Nova. Everybody's against everybody.
Right.
Kind of like
I go the Nova.
So do you vet these vehicles before you say, yeah, we accept your registration?
They have to send in a photograph
Right.
of the car when you register, and then Steve will do that part. He would,
Okay.
say no or yay or
Yeah,
whatever.
no,
but
that's
So you
64.
so you can't bring mom's Buick Century and
or
expect-
what was we talking about? The Chrysler. We get no fires in that place, so don't bring your,
don't bring the minivan.
don't bring the minivan because we prefer no fires in
No
there.
thermal events.
Exactly. Well, I think that you have to. I don't even know how you would do an electric car because in most instances you have to disconnect the battery.
That's right.
Well, how do you do that in an electric car?
That I don't know. I don't know.
Be interesting to see if y'all have any show
Yeah.
up. I mean, 'cause basically, you're talking.
It may have the Tesla show up. What are you going to do then?
Don't know.
What would the fire marshal do?
That's who's going to make that decision, not me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
But it's
sir,
going to be a real good show. It really is. Quality
Sounds
is
like
going to
it.
be beyond belief.
Yeah.
And then we have celebrities there. We have Mark Henry, WWE Hall of Fame.
I'll show up.
And, yeah, that's right. And the Hall of Fame wrestler, and he was also
Olympics?
the world champion in the Olympics. And then we got Joe and Amanda Martin from Iron Resurrections.
Oh, very good.
They'll be doing autographs. Both those are on Saturday.
Both on Saturday.
Yeah. If you go to Autorama, there's a small plaque that's maybe $8 or $10 plaque. We're giving away $100 to everybody that wins gets a minimum of $100 trophy. I mean, I can't tell you what they are. I'll surprise you. They are real nice.
Did you make them?
No, designed it but didn't make them because there's so many of them. 140. I think there is trophies total. No, 135.
And you got some interesting sponsors to sponsor these different categories. And,
Yes.
and different money
Yeah,
payouts.
out of the big ones, we got Lamborghini will be there, Porsche will be there, and State Farm will be there. Those are our main.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the payouts of the
Oh.
category winners.
Yeah, the best car there, number one, gets the trophy that I built for Autorama many years ago. I'm bringing that with me to my show now. You get that and $5,000 cash, and the trophy's about $5,000. You're getting $10,000. Then all the best ofs all win $1,000 cash. And we have a lot of best ofs.
You know, I'm thinking I could get some friends and I could take a cut of what they win.
It'd take you 2 years to get those friends.
It'd take a lifetime.
Yeah, you have to buy a lot of beer and you make no money on that.
That ain't working.
So how many cars are hoping to put
Anticipating,
in there?
yeah.
Well, right now we have 200. Naturally we'd like to get more and more and more, but
Sure.
200.
Some of these things take a little bit of time.
Yeah, say Autorama has around 400, but remember, us Camaros, Mustangs, and Corvettes is half of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or ours.
And
but
they've been what, 40 years, 30, 40
Yeah.
years doing it?
So it's going to take some time. This is our first show, but we're very,
Yeah,
very
for the
excited.
inaugural 200, that's great.
Yeah, that's what I think.
for
And
that?
we probably have more than that because everybody waits the last minute
Yeah.
to enter. And there's also, I don't remember the guy's name, but there's a guy who built a special car truck. It's really, really cool. I'll show you a photo. And the owners, they're going to debut it to the owner at our show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Reveal.
There's more to the story than that. But
big
yeah,
reveal.
Sure.
it's going to be really neat. I'll show you a picture of this truck. It's unbelievable.
Can you say who built the truck?
No, I don't know, but we will there. But we have so many different,
Gotcha.
so many different people.
Yeah, I was
shops.
looking at your website. I mean, there's a big,
There's a
long
lot of
list
people
of
coming
stuff.
in there.
So, speaking of websites, how would folks want to check you out? And is there a site to get on there?
Yeah,
Look at
just go to Texas Elite Auto
Showcase.
Showcase, and then you can register on there, or you can look or get the time.
Schedule.
That's
all that
right.
stuff.
Yep.
Very cool.
Saturday, I believe. Saturday is 10 to 8, and Sunday is 10 to 6.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-day only show.
2-day only show.
And how much does it cost to get in?
It's $20 to get in. 6 and under's free. And one of the great parts for the people that are entering at the Autorama, George R. Brown, there's no place to park. You can't get your trailer in. You're sitting in line outdoors. All the parking's right behind it because it's the same as Barrett Jackson and Meekum. We have all to store your trailer. Then we can stage about 40 or 50 cars inside, and August the 10th is hot.
Yeah.
You'll be able to be indoors in the air conditioning while we're bringing you in. It's going to be great. It really is. It's going to be great.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
He's got a little glow about you.
Yeah. I don't know if that's nervous or exciting. But
Either that or exhaustion.
Exhaustion,
Yeah.
probably.
some of that's. Oh,
I know.
man.
I know. When I called him the other day, hey man, call me. Oh man, I got so much going on. I don't know what I want
He
to
always
do.
does. He always
Well,
sounds
I mean,
like
he's
that.
got his
I know.
business
I
too.
know.
I mean, he's got to keep that going.
And then
as
he's
well.
got the Sunday event. You got Chrome and Coffee. You're doing all that.
Yep. Then I'm hosting the National Coin Op Convention at my house from people from all over the United States that collect what I collect are going to be there for the national convention.
Really?
And and they get to go. Guess who I talked to and let them go? We tour the top 6 homes in Houston that have collectibles, and got John Hovis at Hemi Hideout.
Wow.
Do you really?
Oh
Very
yeah,
good.
I'm very happy about that. He's such a nice guy.
Yes.
He is.
Great
He's got
person.
lots of stuff.
Oh, I told everybody they won't believe it how nice it is.
Yeah. It's funny. I had to call him and I forgot. Call John. Let me put that.
Let's call him right now.
713-2525. Call John.
There you
I'm
go.
writing it down right now so I won't forget. Maybe
So
he's
anyway,
listening.
try to get ready for that. Get ready for this. Get ready. Oh gosh,
Well, I mean,
too much.
Now, I always wonder.
It's hard on a guy in his 40s. It really is.
in his 40s. Oh, my God. Eddie's a liar, too.
Yeah, and mine's gone.
Yeah.
No, that would be me.
Yeah.
My mind is gone.
Crazy.
All right. So what are you doing between now and 3 weeks from now?
Hustling as many people and cars as I can get in there.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone all day long. Just to you. All those friends I've had all those years, they always tell them, man, they're into cars? Well, then if you don't have one friend with a cool enough car to put in the show, you're not into cars.
So
think about it. Come on.
now, are you going to have
on,
club
man.
displays?
Yes, we got the
So in
the
other
Chevy Club display. They've switched. They're not doing Autorama, and they're doing ours. So I have the classic
And I
Chevys.
was going to say, because, Randy Weldon is big in the Mustang Club of America, and
Yeah.
he knows all the guys in the Mustang
North
clubs
Sides,
Yeah.
around town.
multiple clubs around.
Yeah.
And so I would like to think that they would have a nice collection of Mustangs that they could put in the Mustang Corral.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if Steve's talked to him or not, but if not, you need to give me his number and I'll call him.
Well, he's listening, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so he knows. Anyway, Randy Weldon, it would be a good one. The guys down there at AJ Loop with the Space City Corvette Club. I mean, that used to be a thing, a club entry. And,
Right.
and you'd have, a dozen cars from
That's right.
a club or clubs, and they would all get together. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
AJ and then they went down to Galveston to the Corvette Chevy Expo thing down there. I think they took like 28 cars into there. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's. I know Nick's Auto. He's probably have about 8 in his booth. Smithy's.
Wow.
He has about
Yeah, Smitty's.
6
He's got
or
nice
8. They both have booths there. They're both they're supporting our show also.
And we ain't bringing nothing.
No.
Other than ourselves
Well,
and our great personality.
How about? I was thinking the van, but no.
The van, the van,
Pacifica.
the Pacifica.
Pacifica.
But you're not allowed in there because the fire marshal's not going to let you in unless you've had the recall taken care of, and they're not ready to do that yet.
Picky people.
There's that. Well, hey man, thanks so much for coming over.
Yes, sir.
We
Good to see
appreciate
ya.
it. And
Sorry the rain out last event.
Yeah, I was still there eating, but
Well,
but did
Must be-
anybody show up? A few,
yeah,
probably.
about 10, 15 people. They want to eat there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that microphone behind you? Where'd that come from?
Yeah. Actually, that microphone right back there, Craig fixed that up for me, that nice chrome-plated RCA. Yeah, it's very nice. Thank you very much.
That was a long time ago, wasn't
It was
it?
a long time ago. Yeah, it sure was.
We've been friends for, I think, about almost 40 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
40 years. Still friends.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sorry.
I mean,
Exactly.
hey, it's been rough. It really has.
I know. It has been. But, hey, thanks. And we'll be in touch. I owe you a press release, and I'm going to work on that this
Sounds
weekend.
good. Where are the donuts anyway?
You know,
no donuts this time.
Jeff didn't bring any
Oh,
donuts.
gosh. I forgot. No, there's no, nobody comes in here anymore. You
No.
do everything over the,
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do any of that anymore. We kind of lowballing it here in the
I gotcha.
in the In Wheel Time Studios, the Sugar Shack Studios.
Thanks so much for having me, and hopefully a lot of people show up for the show.
Great success for that, yes.
We'll be by to harass you on
Absolutely.
Saturday.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Thank you, bud. Thank you very much. Okay, you're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're going to take a quick break. You and your friends can get this award-winning show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and on InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Well, we're back. I think we're back.
We're just
Yeah.
bunch
Hey,
of
you're
old
on the In
women
Wheel
here.
Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for writing with us. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Motor Minute. Last week we talked about tires. We've been talking about tires for the past few weeks. One of the things is for warranties. People are asking, what kind of warranty does a tire have? Well, they come in different types of warranties for different manufacturers. Duration and commencement of warranty coverage is the length of the tire warranty varies across manufacturers and models. Warranty periods start from the date of purchase if there's no receipt. If you don't have a receipt for the tires and you got a warranty issue, they go off the date of the tire. when the tire was manufactured.
Oh, really?
I thought that was pretty interesting. Mileage and treadwear warranties are explained differently. It's important to realize these warranties do not guarantee that the tire will last for the stated mileage. So if it says a 60,000-mile warranty tire, probably not going to last that because there's other things involved with air inflation, the way you drive it, the car itself, and so on. Road hazard warranty coverage.
So wait a minute. So what you're saying is that if you have a 60,000-mile warranty on the car that's stated
on a tire,
right? Yeah, the 60,000-mile warranty, and you don't make it there.
You don't make it there because maybe your tires were
right, but you don't have no way of proving.
No.
That you didn't underinflate it, or
it's up to that tire warranty specifics on what they're calling they're calling a warranty.
So
but then you got
that.
road hazards. Road hazard is commonly the bumps and dings you get on the rough terrains and things of that nature. Yep. Uniformity warranties is like you're driving it and you get a lot of vibration. Those aren't covered normally through a warranty, but you can return the tire in a certain period of time. So check your warranty, check the manufacturer, check who you're buying it from because they'll offer it as well.
Car repossessions rocketed higher in the first half of the year, a sign of rising consumer distress as the U.S. Federal Reserve weighs interest rate cuts. So far in 2024, repos are up 23% compared with the same period last year, according to data from Cox Automotive. With high interest rates and inflation hitting household budgets, the spike in seizures provides a window into the average consumer's financial health at a key time for policymakers. The average interest rate for a new car is currently 7.3%. And for a used car, it's 11.5%.
Wow.
That's according to Edmunds. That means monthly bills are now ready. $739 a month for a new car and $549 for a used car on average.
Smokes.
Yeah, I had no clue. Police in France have arrested a suspect in the fatal stabbing of former Rolls-Royce designer Ian Cameron.
Oh, my goodness.
Cameron, 74, was found dead at his home in Hersching, southern Germany, near Lake Ammersee. After he was stabbed by an attacker July 12th, 22-year-old Serbian man was arrested by French special forces on July 18th at an apartment northeast of Paris. The Upper Bavaria North Police Force said in a statement on Friday. No motive for the attack was given. BMW said it deeply shocked and saddened to hear the death of the designer who worked for the company for much of his career. He retired from Rolls-Royce in 2012 after overseeing the design of a range of ultra-luxury cars that reinvented the brand after BMW took over the British marquee in 2003. Starting with the Phantom, Cameron joined BMW in 1992.
Oh, boy.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was to know? I guess that's it. We're going to take a break.
Sure.
And we will be back. Quick break now. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
It's the End Wheel Time Car Talk Show ahead. We are going... I'm sorry. I didn't turn the
Turn
page.
the page, Bob
Turn the
Seger.
page. Yeah. Who?
Bob Seger, turn the page.
Is that a song?
Yeah.
Well, what do I know? I mean, I like Bob Seger, but I don't know all of his songs.
Well, you're having difficulty with paper, too. So.
Yeah. Coming up, we're going to have a little bit later on in this segment, Sergeant Steve Woodard, Texas DPS. Call him State Trooper, whatever. You'll hear my thoughts on driving the new 2024 Honda Ridgeline. And Mars has the upcoming events calendar just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley is back from the UP of Michigan, but he's sleeping in this morning.
Recuperating.
Recuperating.
That's it. From all that clean air and clean living up there in the UP.
Wait a minute.
Make you sick.
Ainsley, clean living? Are you serious?
I think it's the clean air.
It's
he's
just a
recuperating
facade.
from.
Never mind any of that. Okay.
The air, I get.
Yeah.
Got it. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. We were vacant last weekend, so we played a rehash of a show that we thought was pretty interesting. We'd gone up to Granbury, Texas for the Lone Star Street Rod Association state run.
What a fun trip.
That it always is, and it's a great event. That's something that you ought to check in and check out.
No, hot rod tour for him.
Well, Hot Rod Tour of Texas, yeah, most definitely. But the Granbury thing, Lone Star Street Rod Association, and it's in a park in Granbury. And it's really a cool event. Different cars you've never seen before, and these guys, most of them drive the cars in. Okay. And we're
They're really going to press. They're going to try and get 400 this year because
Put your headset on.
of their. In 25, it'll be their 50th anniversary of their state run, and they're pushing for having 400 cars there.
I'd like to go up to that.
Yeah, you should. Next year when it comes about, it's right at the at the end of May.
First weekend in June, I believe.
Is it first weekend in June? Anyway, it's a great event and some really cool cars that are driven.
Mostly all street rods. Is it a certain year and back?
Well, next year they're going to go to the 30-year roll that like some of the others, so they can get a few more people involved. Older guys.
Because we're all dying off.
Yeah, I was trying not to say that, but yes, that's it. And
it's a great. Go to Lone Star Street Rod Association, and they've got some members here in town too.
Yes.
It's really a statewide thing, and this is their once-a-year get-together up in Granbury. You ever been to Granbury?
Yes.
Yeah, south of Fort Worth.
Very nice.
It's really a cool place. A great atmosphere. The gals like it because of the downtown area. I like it too. The downtown area is very cool. Kind of like Victoria. I had no clue about Victoria until we've moved the entry thing, the gathering the night before we do the hot rod tour to downtown. And the city opened up the doors and said, "Come on down." They closed the entire square. All the cars were around the courthouse down in Victoria, Texas.
Mm-hmm. They had some sort of celebration anniversary thing going on.
They had the orchestra there. It was like it was a moment of history for Victoria.
Right.
I don't know how many years it was, but I think they were doing a celebratory.
And the symphony had an anniversary, so it was a really big deal.
It was a big deal, and it was lots of fun. And, of course, I've been with the guys that put the show on now this was the third year, and it's a 3-day event. So it starts on a Thursday, and we take off on Friday and start driving. And, when you got 300 cars in a row, you go to all these little towns up through central Texas headed north, and it is tons of fun. Took the Shiner Brewery tour again this year. They're going to move it this year, and I know that he's been in touch with John Hovis, so we'll see if that works out.
Every year's a different route.
Different route. And it's fun. The best little town on the way is Yoakum, Texas. You ever heard of Yoakum?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great little town. And they brought the fire department out, the flag hanging from the big ladder, and the school kids are all lining the street. It's tons of fun. Yeah, and it's all a bunch of hot rod guys with cool cars taking a tour. You know, it's kind of like the tour that runs along the Gulf Coast. I can't remember the name of that.
Yeah.
I've never been
Cruising
on
the
it.
Coast?
Cruising the Coast.
That's it.
Yeah, they don't really cruise like the hot rod tour. They call it that because it's like miles and miles long.
Right, because there's different
But
events in
these-
different stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of the Hot Rod Tour, the actual Hot Rod
Power
magazine tour, Power Tour.
Or the
Yeah.
Woodward Dream Cruise. That's sort of like that, the southern one.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they, everybody gathers up here, then everybody leaves, but not necessarily all together at the same time.
Right.
Where this one, we all leave together at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tons of fun. And get down to Victoria, and the entire Victoria Police Department has the intersections blocked to get us on the highway to go, and it's a lot of camaraderie, a lot of fun, a lot of guys that you've never met before.
How many broken down ones?
It's amazing.
There was only one or two, I think, that actually pulled off it during the run. I heard.
We had one deal that we were out in the middle of nowhere, and somebody had to take a leak. They had to go to the bathroom, so they pull off into this little bitty, tiny gas station, and everybody else pulled into the gas station.
like follow the leader.
Yeah, and it was hysterical. The lady was just overwhelmed. She was in there by herself. And I said, "Do you need some help?" She says, "Oh, my gosh, can you help me?" I said, "I'll do anything you want me to do." So I helped her, here you go.
Bag up groceries.
Bag up whatever.
To carry out.
Probably bought her whole inventory out.
Probably, yeah.
Made
Best day she's ever had in her life.
That's exactly right. Yeah, the most income that they've ever had in that little
Yes.
store.
But for a little emergency pit stop, everybody followed.
Yeah. So Steve Woodard, DPS, is supposed to be here now. He's going to join us in just a little bit. But in the meantime and in between time, I want to get him a car review.
Very good.
Which
Good
one are we
choice.
doing?
We're going to do the Honda Ridgeline.
Okay.
Okay. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, go for it. You
All
can start.
Okay. So I got a chance to drive the 2024 Honda Ridgeline. It comes in these trim levels: the Sport, the RTL, the Trail Sport, and the Black Edition. The reviewed trim level is SE, all-wheel drive, Trail Sport. This is a mid-sized pick-em-up truck. Seats 5. Exterior changes from last model year. A few updates here and there, but nothing major. Exterior features: modern grille with a faux front skid plate on it. It's conservatively stamped doors and rear quarter panels, and also the taillights are conservative. If you like conservative, Honda is your brand. Dual exhaust below the black rear bumper. What I liked about it, the under-the-radar kind of styling. What could use improvement? Well, I think that they need to do a zoomy model. Does that make sense to you? A zoomy model. Gussy it up a little bit.
Oh, gussy it up. Yeah. Technical term.
Gussy.
That's right. Gussy it up. Interior highlights include a cool interior, very conservative again, functional but dated looking on the interior. Controls straightforward, easy to use. Instrument cluster and screen graphics are spot on. What I liked about it, the new larger touchscreen by an inch this year. What could use improvement? If you're looking for a capable midsize and don't want to make a splash, this is your truck. And speaking of old school, it's got a 3.5-liter V6 engine, 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. It's old school. Because everybody's going to turbocharged 4-cylinders these days. 9-speed automatic transmission. Now, it'll tow up to 5,000 pounds. Payload, 1,521 pounds. So it is capable. Gets 18 miles per gallon in the city, 23 on the highway for combined at 20. I got 22.5 miles per gallon over 279.8 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of power from the old school V6. What could use improvement? Offer a Turbo 4. Why not? You guys make IndyCar engines. You know how to do turbochargers. You know how to do four-cylinder motors. Do it. Ride and handling, smooth. Car, SUV-like ride. This is where the Ridgeline has an advantage over other mid-sized trucks, I think, is the ride and handling. Pricing. Well, base trim price on this is $44,980. So this is a pricey vehicle. By the way, it has 7.5 inches of ground clearance, which isn't a whole bunch. Price is tested, $55,995. If you want the base model price, $39,750, the most expensive among its competitors, and they include the Chevy Colorado that starts at $29,500. The Jeep Gladiator goes for $37,895. I didn't know it was that pricey, and the Toyota Tacoma starts at $33,700. And that's my review of the 2024 Honda Ridgeline all-wheel drive Trail Sport.
You know, the earlier models, before they went to the separate bed, you know, when it was all one piece,
Yes.
you know, you still can't find them. I mean, when people buy this vehicle, they hang on to it forever and ever.
Yeah, you never see them on the used car lot.
No.
As a matter of fact, my cousin Steve and his wife, they had one for years and years and years. They bought it used. You couldn't tell it was used because the people that buy them take care of them.
Yes.
And matter of fact, I was talking to somebody the other day about Hondas, and somebody had one, had 337,000 miles, and it was still going.
Wow.
It was beat up a little bit, but
A little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we bought a Honda back when we were living in San Antonio because we were coming back and forth. And it had 225 something on it and some change when I gave it to one of the granddaughters to drive. And I don't know how many miles it had on it when she parted with it.
Gosh, back in, I want to say it was the late 80s, bought a Honda Accord. Back in the day when the little square box Honda Accord, when they were so popular, everybody was buying them. You couldn't find them. And I bought one from the dealership across from Sharpstown Mall, whatever the name of it was. And at this particular time, they didn't offer a leather interior. But if you wanted a leather interior, they had somebody that would upfit it with a leather interior for, I don't know what it was, $1,500.
Dealer installed.
Yeah. Well, actually, it wasn't a dealer. They farmed it out to somebody.
Yeah,
and they did it
subbed
actually.
it out.
Yeah, you could never tell it wasn't a factory job. It was really nice and really liked it. The only drawback was, I want to say it was like 35,000 miles. You had to change the timing belt. And I'm going, what? The timing belt? And it cost me $1,000 to change the timing belt because you had to take basically the top half of the engine off. All right. So is Steve here yet? He's not here yet.
No,
is he?
not yet.
We want to do events?
Well, I was going to say let's go and move on into the upcoming events calendar.
Cool. So coming up on next Saturday, July the 27th, the Houston Back to School Vendor Market and Caffeine and Chrome Car Show. Now, this is going to be at Gateway Classic Cars of Houston, pet-friendly, family-friendly food trucks, local vendors, and it really is to help get some more school supplies in for some of the people that actually need some. That's at 1910 Cypress Stations Drive.
That's a good class.
9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then on August the 10th and 11th of 2024 at the Houston NRG Park is the Texas Elite Auto Showcase. Now, this is Houston's newest indoor car show. Custom cars, trucks, and some exotics. This is a Saturday and Sunday. Great show to be inside in the beginning of August. So go to TexasEliteAutoShowcase.com for more information on getting tickets and some of the vehicles that are going to be there.
I wonder if they're going to raffle off a car. You think?
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
Maybe I heard they're going to have a $6 million Pagani. That would be a great one to raffle off.
There you go.
Dude, on top of everything else, can you imagine raffling off a car? Do you know what's involved in a raffle? If you get sideways with the state of Texas or the IRS in a raffle, you're going to prison. Not jail. You're going to prison. Raffle Oh no!
Really?
I remember
getting involved into a car and transferring titles.
I guess I'm not going to win
Can you
it.
imagine what a nightmare that would be? No thanks. We got caught up in that at the radio station years ago. We had a raffle for something, and we thought that we'd done all of our homework. We didn't run the rules through a lawyer, and we almost had to go to jail to get out of that deal. It was a big fiasco. Again.
Yeah.
But it's something different this time. It was a raffle.
Another event coming up August the 17th, Wheels, Watches, and Whiskey. This is at the Stella Hotel.
Wait a minute. Run that slower. Wheels, Watches, and Whiskey.
This is at the Stella Hotel Autograph Collection in Bryan, Texas. Now, this is presented by the Gentleman Racer and McLaren. They're going to have exotic and classic cars, premium whiskey tasting, and they're going to have a big display of luxury watches you can buy and a silent auction. Again, this is a charitable event going on.
The only
in
thing you're
Bryan.
missing is some big fat cigars.
Yeah, smoking's bad for you again. So then the last two, September the 28th, Woody's 6th Annual Waterfront Rod and Custom Show. We're going to be live there in San Leon, Texas.
San Leon. Not
Leon.
Leon.
1920 to 2004, best rat rod imports. Go to facebook.com, Woody's Waterfront Rod and Custom Show.
And your English teacher will be there as well to try to get it all straightened out for you. San Leon.
She gave up. Last one, October the 19th. Again, back to the past car show. We're going to be there. This is the annual Open Classic Car, Truck, and Motorcycle Show benefiting Spring Branch Senior High School Foundation.
We're going to be there?
We're going to be there live. 9016 Westview Drive, Houston, Texas.
Hopefully we won't be dead.
SpringBranchBears.com/car show for more information on Facebook.
Spring Branch Bears.
All right. And you can catch the In-Wheel Time Car Talk show through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 3-hour show on Facebook, YouTube, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk show will continue after this quick pit stop.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
All right, and welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show on this Saturday for our live program. 8 to 11 every Saturday we are live. And so if you're listening on a podcast or something.
We're live.
We're not live if you're listening on a podcast. But we're not dead either.
No.
We're just doing other things. So
We're similar.
we are. Well, look who's decided to show up. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Stephen Woodard from the Department of Public Safety, also known as the State Trooper Extraordinaire.
That's what I was
Stephen,
thinking.
good morning.
Hey, good morning. You know what we say out here in the streets. Ain't no party like an in-wheel time party.
What streets are you hanging on?
Yeah, we.
You're at the house?
No, I'm in the office. Come on now.
This is your office?
Yeah, this is the office. I mean, it's nothing much to it.
Hot tub.
I get so I'm on my laptop because that whole internet computer glitch shut down all of our DPS systems. Isn't that something?
Are you serious? And it's not back up yet?
Yeah, and I don't know if my driver's licenses or offices are up yet. I won't know that until Monday. But I'm rebooting things on my main computer. But hey, I'm in the office, and I mean nothing much to look at, just a bunch of junk, like Fred Sanford,
You know,
the troops call it a museum.
Well, it is. It's the Woodard Museum, which is famous around the world.
Let me show you something real quick. So I collect state trooper hats.
Ah.
So if you go around here, let's see if I get an angle. So I got all state trooper hats all the way around the office, and from obviously pretty much every state in the United States.
Oh,
very cool.
There's a story. I don't have a California Highway Patrol hat, but I got a California Highway Patrol motorcycle helmet.
Oh, that's cool.
But,
nice.
There's a story behind each hat, and it's whatever. Half of the time I'm not in here.
We collect warrants here at In Wheel Time.
Warrants.
All right, let me log off. I'm on my way.
Exactly.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, I will tell you, I consider myself blessed. After that crazy storm, I just had some minor inconveniences like a fence. I'm just really grateful we didn't lose power, because that gave me the ability and the peace of mind to go out and help our community. I tell you something, fella, it's hard going out into the community and your homestead is all messed up. So I was one of the lucky ones. A fence is nothing, just prop it up and roll. But I spent the majority of my time down in Matagorda County. We're still down there providing help. And there's still some individuals, as you know, that do not have power. So big shout out. And can I do shout outs on this program?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big shout out to our troopers coming in from various areas, helping out the city of Houston. And again, I know Houston gets a lot of the highlight, but man, our folks in our outlying areas like Brazoria County, Matagorda County, etc., man, they were displaced. So a lot of troops came down to help out to man streets and roadways, because a lot of police agencies were displaced. So we had to fill in the gaps. A lot of agencies came down from other cities like Dallas, Fort Worth, etc., to help out Houston. So, hey, I will tell you, hurricane preparedness is important. And if Barrow didn't teach you anything or kind of stir some things up, I mean, I don't know what will. So let's just be mindful. Obviously, we know about our hurricane preparedness kits, and I have a layout of that on our website, the TexasDPS.gov, of examples of kits. I have a few items here in the office if folks need some stuff to kind of start, because that's what we do here on In Wheel Time. We help out our community by entertaining them and giving them actual Carfax to keep them safe. And we do this, so I can help you out with that. But I want to talk about the intersection. I want to talk about the four-way stop.
Oh my God! Thank God, Steve.
I didn't know this was a church program.
Amen, brother.
Does the stupid come out at a four-way stop when the lights out? I have never in my entire. I never used the horn. I had to use the horn several times in the past week trying to get through a four-way stop. People don't know what to do. It's one of the first things you learn in driving class. Yield to the right, my friend. It's so easy.
I'm like a dentist. I hit a nerve.
Yes, you did.
Oh my God! It's like, please continue on. My rant could go on.
Well, no, you hit it. You hit it without a doubt. I mean, I don't really have to say much, but I want to take a little bit of time to talk about the old cliche and the reminder. So obviously we know when we come to a four-way stop lights are at all four corners and the lights are out. We know hell, it can be a small wind, and the light system will go out in Houston.
Yep.
But there are two different systems. All right, I'll explain this to you. So obviously, when the lights are out completely, there is a complete power outage somewhere, and we have to wait on the city of Houston along with that electric authority to figure out what they're going to do with that. If the lights are blinking, then there was a power outage surge, and these intersections have to be reset. So there's an outage and there's a blinkage. So when this blinking, the lights have to be reset, and that's simple with a bone key. I have one in my patrol car. It's literally a brass key. I can go to the box, open it, and I can control the actual signal. Somebody has to get there to do that.
Yeah.
Power outage, no lights are out. So state of Texas says this. It says that we need to treat that intersection as a four-way stop, as if there's stop signs there. All right, I think we probably, I don't want to get into the numbers of tickets because I don't want folks to think that we're just out there writing tickets, but I will tell you, unfortunately, we had to write a bunch of them. And a lot of folks were like, man, really, doing a storm? Well, I mean, come on. So we treat it like a four-way stop. Two categories I want to talk about. Me and Brother Mars, we show up to that blinking light. I get there first. I won.
Yep.
First man
Yep.
wins.
That's right.
Done deal. That's it. Mic drop. Now, here is the problem. Myself, my Brother Mars and myself, we show up together simultaneously, in sync. Now, who's got the right of way?
If you're in the black and white, you do.
That's not right. Yeah.
I'd shoot him.
I'm just saying.
Shoot him.
I'm just saying, always
shoot 'em.
yield to the black and
I'm
white.
tearing my camera off. This show derails me. I'm serious. Hey, here's the deal. I'm working it. I'm in a zone. Then all of a sudden, Mars comes in and derails.
Well, I mean, that's the truth. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, well, guess what?
That's right.
Yeah. So if you're on the left, you yield to him.
I always yield to him in the black and white. I
wouldn't
don't care.
No.
Shoot him.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, obviously, right is right, and I just cut a safety PSA that I'm gonna put out next week on this. Right is right. Whoever's on the right is right. Right is right.
Yep.
But I'm gonna go to old dad. This is not the DPS handbook. This is not a driver's ed. I'm talking about my daddy. He always told me. He said, "Son, always look a man in the eye at an intersection." He said, "You can tell a lot about what an individual's intentions is if you're looking at them at an intersection."
Yep.
Now, that's hard to do now with these tinted windshields. We're taking care of those problems as well. But always try to look an individual in the face to see what their intentions are. Now, I would say this, man, just let that guy go. Even if he's right or even if you're right, I would just flash my blinkers. And if there's a doubt that this guy's going to continue along simultaneously with you at an intersection, let him go. But state law says right is right. The individual on the right has the right of way, and the first man at the intersection, that individual wins. I would like to say that citation is a $200 citation, and judges are not dismissing that one. So this is not about a stump the chump or writing ticket segment. I appreciate it, Will Time, allowing me to come aboard. But I'm telling you, it's always a problem, and crashes always hike up at intersections.
I like the ones where the guy just blows through the whole thing, just right on through. I ran one of those. That was another horn usage episode. He just blew through there, and he knew that because he had to wait for all the other cars to. So he just gloms onto another car and he just blows through with the other car.
Yeah, tag. I'm it. It's a train.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys something? What are your thoughts on the vehicle inspection law?
I was wanting to ask you about that.
I think it's garbage. I think that we need to have vehicle inspection. If nothing else, the safety inspection. We just take it for granted that most of the cars these days, pardon me, that most of the cars these days pass the emissions test.
But
yeah.
So
the interesting thing is, most vehicles will be eliminated from that actual inspection standard. And that came up under House Bill 3297, and it was passed, obviously, during our last 88th legislation. It was signed by law, And basically, I mean, I hate to use this word, but the word is it abolishes the vehicle inspection safety program for non-commercial vehicles, meaning the regular vehicle. Obviously, our 18-wheelers, in layman's terms, they'll still be under that umbrella. So this begins January 1st.
January 1st.
2025. And we got a lot going on in 25. I can't wait till we get closer. I really appreciate In Will Time allowing me to come on through the years. I mean, especially with these metal plates these metal temp tags that are coming. I mean, they're pressing them right now. But that's another story. But it starts January 1st, 2025. And I think I sent Mars that press release we put out. And I mean, it just says these vehicles no longer need a safety inspection. But there's a however to that. The however obviously applies to commercial motor vehicles, but these vehicles that are in larger counties like Harris County, where we are, Travis, Barrett County, the larger cities, they'll still be up under the emissions umbrella. All non-commercial vehicles in our state will be subject to a $7.50 inspection program replacement fee, and this fee will be added to the total when you go get the vehicle registered with the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. So here's the deal. Obviously, Mike mentioned about the emission. It all derives around the emissions. Certain counties fall under that. I already told you larger counties are part of that emissions program. Just off the top of my head, Fort Bend is one of them. Montgomery County, any larger county, they're going to be a part of that. But I will say this, it's still going to be the driver's responsibility to make sure that their vehicle is inspected. And the first thing a trooper looks at, this is a little known secret, when we walk to a vehicle, first thing that we're doing a cursory check of the vehicle. We're taking a look at tires, etc. So just be mindful that unsafe vehicle could be a contributing factor to a crash. But as of now, a lot of our smaller counties, they're off the hook. They're off the hook. So, hey, we just want to remind you guys of that. And then as we get closer to the end of the year, I'll go in depth, probably do a whole segment on that.
Yeah, we need to, because we're running out of time here today. But I got lots of questions about that, particularly with my grandkids starting to drive and making sure that we're all on the same line. So we need to come back and revisit this a little bit later.
Easy stuff. Well, lastly, I want to throw this to you. So we know that the Texas Department of Public Safety, we allow the Parent Talk program. The interesting thing about the Parent Talk program is parents are forgetting to do the parallel parking portion. And they're teaching the kids how to turn left, turn right, initiate the turn signal, etc. But when the young man or young lady arrives to the DL office to do their test, they fail because they cannot parallel park. Mm-hmm. Parallel parking is interesting. All four of us may parallel park once a year?
Maybe.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Steve, the real good thing are those vehicles that have the automatic parallel parking. So you said, okay, we're going to do the parallel parking test. Don pushes the button and I got it knocked.
There you go.
And as I get ready to go, because Mike is pulling out the hook, what is the reason for parallel parking? Well, basically parallel parking is designed to let us know that an individual can operate a vehicle at slow speeds, and it gives us a backing test. So, interestingly enough, I'm here at my office in Rosenberg. I'm meeting a young lady at 10 o'clock. Out of the graciousness of my heart, I'm not doing this for everybody, but her dad had problems teaching her how to parallel park. I said, hey, man, I'll be at the office. Meet me at 10. I'll teach her how to parallel park like a pro.
Are you going to be the Coach Macy and go, you can't talk, you stop doing it that way, is it going to be one of those?
Yes. Hey, I appreciate y'all through the years. Thank you for always letting me come on and share my little message.
We love you, Stephen Woodard.
I love you too.
You take care, man. Thanks so much. Steve Woodard, he is the man. Well, it's too late now, isn't it?
Maybe not.
We got to roll a commercial.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break. But I'd like to remind you that if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont. It's on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
This is the world's favorite place to go for
50
fun
countries.
and informative car talk.
Yep.
It's the NWL Time Car Talk Show, this segment, where we hope to have John Gray joining us, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Later, we'll have This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world and out of the studio, Mars.
And out of his mind.
We'll always need more Jeff Zekin and our chief engineer, David Sleeping Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. We're running a little bit behind because Steve Woodard was late joining us, and once we get on with Steve, we can't.
We got to get him all in.
Yeah, and we don't want to. Poison the pill here, and we want to have him on.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. It's always fun. Last time we saw him, it was at Tailpipes and Tacos, where he made a
personal
live
appearance. Yeah,
Yep.
we love that.
Getting hugs from all the ladies out there. It was good stuff.
And people coming up to him going, "Hey, I see you on the NWL Time Show. See you everywhere, Steven." But at any rate, let's see. I wanted to do, while we're waiting for John Gray to join us, I wanted to do some more recalls.
Go for it.
They're always fun.
Mm-hmm.
The front seat airbag may not deploy as intended in the following vehicles: Alfa Romeo Giulia, Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Fiat 500e, 500X, and the Jeep Renegade. And they go from model years 2017 to 2024, and various and sundry variations of that.
Mm-hmm.
BMW, driver's airbag inflator may explode.
Oh, boy.
That would be in your face.
Where have we heard that before?
2006 to 2011, BMWs 323i, 325i, 325xi, 328i, 328xi, 330, 335. So, yeah, all of them. Side curtain airbag may not deploy in the Jeep Cherokee. The airbag thing is a major issue. Improperly heat-treated rear axle spring U-bolts. Would you like to get ejected out of your vehicle as a spring U-bolt disintegrates beneath you? Now, that'll happen to you in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, 1500, 2500, 3500, and 4500, model years 2023 to 2024. And improperly tightened bolts on the dashboard. Have that fall out in your lap, will you? The Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 for 2023.
How can you improperly tighten a bolt on a dashboard? There's like 3.
Well,
some have 2.
Have you seen? You've seen how they how they do that.
They put them in with a.
It's a fork.
Yeah, and it goes in there and puts in the.
And it sits it up there, and the guy adjusts it, and he's got that power wrench, and he goes.
Yep. Done.
Well,
move on.
If the torque setting isn't right on the thing,
or
the
the air
whole
pressure's
dashboard
down a little bit or something.
I think that they're electric these days.
Oh, are
if
they?
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they don't do it the old-fashioned way with air anymore. But at any rate,
crazy.
There's that. I'm sure that John is deep into some sort of paint adjustment.
Well, he's not normally open on Saturdays.
Well, he doesn't have to be open.
I know.
He's got a telephone.
I know that, but just saying, maybe he forgot.
Okay. Well, I thought that we would do a little sold cars roundup. What do you think?
Ooh.
We haven't done that in a few weeks.
Get your scorecard out.
Get your scorecard out. So this is from Hemmings.com, Sold Cars Roundup. So they take the cars that were sold online, they put them in a collection, and they send it out, and I happen to print it out.
This is what they sold for.
Mm-hmm. So we try to guess the prices. These guys do. It's kind of like a game show.
Tell me what I've won.
Yeah, well, you wish that you had won
Bob.
the 1969 AMC AMX.
Oh, I saw one of those not recently. Yeah.
Very collectible, very rare. So it was a Javelin is what it was, and they took the back seat out of it, and they put a big whopping engine in it with lots of horsepower. And if you can find one that's been restored or is all original and nice, you're talking about some bucks.
Yeah, this is
so
69,
what do you
said,
think
right?
of 69 AMC AMX? This was to compete with the Camaro and the Z28 and the Mustang Shelby and that sort of thing.
23.
Well, I was going to go for 30.
Well, both of you are wrong and underpriced. This one here sold for $42,000.
Well, you didn't say that.
There it
That
is.
is pretty. That's
It
what
is
I'm
kind
looking
of
at.
surprising.
Red
Yeah.
with white stripes. Here's
Yeah.
another one. Here's another one.
Very nice.
A 69 AMC AMX, another one. It's very similar in nature to the looks of this one. What would you think that one sold for? If this one sold for 42?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the difference would be
Yeah.
between them.
Well, the difference is about a couple $1,000. Actually, $1,000. No, $3,000.
Oh.
So is it higher or lower?
Yeah, but that one
Well,
was.
This one was 42.
I would go for the 40 then. It's flat 40.
Yeah, I'll go 39.
Okay, good, because you were closest. 38,850 is what it sold for. Let's move on to something foreign. 2006 Porsche Boxster. The 2006 Porsche Boxster. I only have the look of the interior here, and it looks like it's brand new. But 2006 Porsche Boxster. The interesting thing about these cars is that generally speaking, if you can afford a Porsche Boxster new, you're going to take care of it.
42.
2006, Mars.
I'm thinking more like 36.
17,850.
Wow.
I know. That's why I thought, wow, that's all you get for that?
Well, I guess maybe the Boxster was kind of a one of them they made a lot of. It wasn't really that. It wasn't the big hot rod.
No, it wasn't the big hot rod, but it's still a very attractive car. And
It looks good, yeah.
okay.
Oh, he wanted one. I was pricing 2.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
A 1970 Buick GSX.
Oh.
Now that's a rare car. Buick GSX.
70 model.
1970 model. Good looking body style. Kind of like the 1970 Chevrolet
Grand Prix, like a Grand Prix.
No,
I'm thinking Grand
About
Prix.
the size of a Chevelle.
a Chevelle. The 70 Chevelle. But this is a 70 Buick GSX. What do you think that went for at auction, online auction at Hemmings?
28.
I was thinking 28. I'll go 29.
Okay, well, they're 33. You both of you close. That's a nice looking car, gold with a big black stripe on it.
Because some of them had turbo V6s in them, and some
What's
of
the picture of it?
But I've got another
You have
car
to
to
wait.
show.
Oh, all right. Well,
But that's okay.
Yeah,
There you
wait,
go.
wait.
There you go. See it?
oh yeah, it's pretty.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Okay. So let's go in a different route. Let's go with a 1974 Jeep CJ5. The traditional old two-door Jeep. It's nice looking on the outside. I
The
don't know.
9 grill.
No, it had no.
No.
7-slot grill.
Yeah, they're all 7.
It's nice.
74 CJ5. What do you think that would bring? Now,
I would go 22.
22.
I'm going 12.
You're spot on. 12.6.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeep people are crazy, so I was just a wild guess.
Well, I don't know as if there's anything special about it, but
Well, just because of the
you know, we
year it
talked
is.
earlier about an El Camino. We did the review of the Honda Ridgeline.
Yeah.
So here's a 1959 Chevrolet El Camino.
That's a truck.
Well, it's not a truck, actually. It's based on the sedan. Or, well, actually, I guess it would be the coupe. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Does
But
it look restored or modded?
Yeah. Oh, it's modded. It's a resto mod.
Is it 58 or 59 had the dual headlights?
Dual headlights. You want to see it? Here you go. It's right there. That one right there.
Okay, yeah,
Red.
yeah.
It's been lowered, so it's got some sort of suspension
Air
work to it.
suspension.
See, I was
Yeah.
thinking something different.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I would go 32.
32.
I'll go 24.
How about $52,500?
It must have an LS or something.
Yeah, and it's tubbed
Probably.
out.
It's tubbed.
Tubbed.
All that. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's one. A 67 Shelby GT350. Now, 67, wasn't that the first year that he did a car? Did a Mustang? I'm not sure.
60s.
No, there was some earlier. There was a
Yeah.
66 for
Six.
sure, the
Okay.
white with blue stripes on it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is green with white stripes. A 67 Shelby GT350.
62,000.
I'm gonna go for 110.
106,575. Wow. That's a lot. How about the 1994 Ford Bronco? Now, this would be the O.J.
one.
Simpson.
Yeah.
The O.J. Simpson chase deal, except it's not white. It's red on beige.
Yeah,
Like an Eddie Bauer kind of.
yeah.
Exactly.
12.
12, Jeff?
Yeah, I'll go 14.
16.8. And then we have the really, please don't be offended if this is yours, but really ugly 1952 Ford Custom Line. It's a two-door, and it's got wide whites on it, and it's got fender skirts on it, but it looks stock.
You had me at ugly.
Yeah, and I think that it even has, I'm not sure, but I think it has one of those adjustable things that you could pull up the spotlight. And,
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
Like copper car.
Yeah.
I like that, but this looks like the light is on the passenger side. Who knows? I don't know. And it's also got a sun visor on
Right-hand
it.
drive.
No, it's a left-hand drive, but it's got a sun visor on it.
Got
Oh,
long arms.
yeah, that's cool.
The sun visor on on the windshield.
And what year again?
This is a 1952.
Oh,
So if you want to get in the classics, this is one for you.
$34,000.
$16,275.
22,
Here's one that I just have to mention: a 42 Dodge Power Wagon. It's kind of like it looks like an army vehicle,
Yep.
but it's also kind of like a Suburban looking. But
Yep.
think of 1942. This one here is rough looking, and it sold for $9,000.
Yeah.
And finally, a 2001 Chrysler Prowler. My dad loved those cars. Remember the Prowler?
Prowler, yeah.
Unfortunately, it was underpowered because it had a V6 in it, and it was all twisty because it didn't have a hard top on it. So you'd ride it, and it just felt loose, right? What do you
Yeah,
think
but
that
they
thing?
still, I would say 23.
28.
32
Yeah,
looks brand new.
They still
Now, Craig
they
actually had one
Still
of those.
pull some numbers on them.
Yeah. Well, because they didn't make that many of
Well,
them.
they didn't make that
sell
many, and they
many.
really. I mean, if you just want something to cruise around that you think you're cool, and you don't have to work on much, instead of a 32, kind of a makeshift, make do kind of thing.
Yep.
John Gray, unfortunately, could not be with us this morning for whatever reason. Some sort of lame excuse, I'm sure it was. Let's see.
We're behind them. You want to get caught up on breaks?
Yes.
Okay.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Thanks so much for joining us today on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Mr. Mars has This Week in Auto History. What you got, Mars?
Yeah, I picked up a few things this week that were rather interesting. And one of them that got my attention real quick was the Datsun B210, like we have right here that Jeff's showing up here on the screen. That was actually the first new car I ever bought.
That would be you.
Yes.
I had a used one. It was green, and the kids call it the Frog.
There you go.
Kind of looks like a frog.
Mm-hmm. They actually started production in 1931. It was owned by Nissan, and Datsun was their export brand.
Daihatsu.
Yeah, that's what they sent out. If they sold in country, it was a Nissan. If it went out of country, it was a Datsun. They canceled the name brand a couple of times over the years, and then they bring it back again for that export market until they finally killed the brand off in 2022. Then, July 14, 1955, the Ford Thunderbird was announced to the public. This first generation was a two-seat convertible, made 55 to 57. It was the first two-seater Ford built since 1938, and it was it was developed in response to the 1953 Motorama display, which showed the Chevrolet Corvette. The Corvette was developed in response to the popularity of the European sports cars that Americans were buying, so one begat the other. Then, coming up on July the 15th, the Ford Motor Company sold its very first car, a Ford Model A, to a Chicago dentist. And that's actually what created Ford, led Ford to create the prominence in the market that they have today. Then coming up in July 17th, Jeff, this one's for you. The very first Cadillac automobile was completed.
Awesome.
These were two-seater horseless carriages powered by a mid-engine, 10-horsepower single-cylinder engine. And, of course, now they're known for their luxury vehicles and nothing like that at all. Mm-hmm. Then July the 19th, Don, this one's for you, 1957. The Fiat 500 was launched in Italy.
Have you ever gotten in one of those? Have you ever seen one of those up close?
The original one?
Yeah.
No,
tiny.
Yeah, they're small.
Bitty, little tiny thing that you can't even get into.
It's got to be because it's powered by a two-cylinder engine with 13 horsepower.
It's got white letter tires
and suicide doors. It had suicide doors.
Nice.
I thought that was interesting. That was the first year they did that. So that was a few things we picked up this week in auto history.
Very cool.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Former President Donald Trump has reiterated an openness for Chinese automakers to build cars in the U.S. as a way to boost the economy, signaling a potentially different approach from a Biden administration that has sought to keep out vehicles with links to the country. Right now, as we speak, large factories just are being built across the border in Mexico by China to make cars to sell in the U.S., Trump said in an address at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this week. Those plants are going to be built in the United States, and our people are going to man those plants, he said, adding that he would otherwise slap tariffs as high as 200% on each car to prevent them from entering the country. He then criticized UAW President Shawn Fain, who's in some deep doo-doo himself.
Yep.
If he's elected in November, Trump again also vowed to scrap what he called EV mandates, suggesting that a move would save the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, his words. Chopped charging cables for a few pounds of raw copper is yet another hurdle for electric vehicle drivers trying to use public stations, and it's on the rise in some areas. Thieves have raided charging stations to extract and sell copper from cables since 2022, and the issue is getting worse. Nearly 130 charging cords were stolen from Electrify America stations in the first 5 months of this year. That's more cases than during all of 2023. Seattle has been a hot spot for charger vandalism across networks. Thieves have also struck sites in Nevada, California, Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, and Pennsylvania, charging companies said. Problem here is they can't find the charging stations like me.
To steal from them.
The crime's burden already cash-strapped charging companies with replacement costs ranging from $500 to $7,000, according to Puget Sound Energy, a Washington energy company that sells public and private EV chargers. Cables on high-powered chargers are more expensive to replace than cables on lower-powered level 2 chargers, according to the company. Yeah. They're getting... What are you doing down there?
Well, I dropped it.
You dropped what?
I dropped my earbud, and my headsets are going crazy.
Mars has got a microphone that he doesn't. Yeah, he's got a problem. He's not even. He's got the wrong headset on, so he can't even talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we had a power surge, he'd glow.
He would glow. Yes, you're right. So we're going to turn him off there. Let's see. I've got some other news for you. Ford said it plans to expand production of its Super Duty pickup line to its plant in Oakville, Ontario, scrapping plans to spend $1.3 billion turning the site into an electric vehicle assembly hub. Ford says the plant will be able to produce roughly 100,000 trucks a year starting in 2026. It previously had delayed plans to build 2 3-row electric crossovers to 2027 from 2025. And the most notable part of Chevrolet's electric Equinox is at a top trim level with a giant infotainment screen and hands-free driver assist technology. It's the upcoming bare bones model with a range of 319 miles, stated, that consumers will be able to buy for less than $35,000 when it reaches dealerships this year. The Equinox marks a stark departure from the not-so-distant electric vehicle launches of the past 2 years, when debuts such as the Ford F-150 Lightning and GMC Hummer EV pickup were priced near or above $100,000. The cost gap is narrowing now between EVs and internal combustion engine vehicles because of more affordable options like the Equinox, but automakers still have a lot of work to do. Average transaction price, by the way, for the Mustang Mach-E, excluding federal tax, swung 30% in just 1 year.
Wow.
J.D. Power. Yeah. So there's that. All right. The Renaissance Center in Detroit.
Yeah.
They're going to implode it.
They're going to somehow get rid of it.
Considering it's being given to tearing down a portion of the Renaissance Center in Detroit, which will be vacated by General Motors when it moves its headquarters. GM, Bedrock, city, county, and state officials have been engaged in discussions for months about the future of the iconic complex built in the 70s. GM owns the 5 largest buildings, 4 39-story office towers flanking a 73-story hotel tower. That's the state's tallest building. The two smaller office towers to the east, they were built in the 80s, have separate ownership. Wasn't known which towers or how many of the 5 are being considered for demolition.
Yeah,
that will change the landscape in Detroit a lot.
I think it's a great area. It's downtown. It's all revitalized.
I can't believe
Why would you
that
get rid of it?
I don't know.
But when General Motors built that, they originally bought that property from Ford Motor Company.
Oh, really?
Ford Motor Company owned that property. They bought it and leased it, and whatever the case, they own it now. So it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yes, it is. I agree. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for a quick break. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, streaming and podcasting around the planet. Look for us on your favorite podcast provider.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, Nathan Wyeth, Octopus Electric Vehicle Leasing, along with leasee Ashley Greenlee. Wow, that's a lot of E's in there.
It certainly
and
is.
I'll get to review the 2024 VW Atlas that's just ahead on this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley, he's not here. He's in bed. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. It's good to be back. We had a week break because last week we didn't know whether we were going to have electricity or not, because my power was out here at the studio, in the Sugar Shack studios for 4 days after the hurricane blew through here, and I wasn't quite sure whether to wait or not. And Thursday rolled around. I said, we can't wait any longer. We're going to have to do something else. Mara says, let's just run the show that we did from Granbury and the Lone Star Street Rod Association, which we did last weekend. So we're back live with the Saturday show. So thank you very much for joining us today on our live show. If you're listening or watching on a podcast, we thank you very much for doing that. Our live show is streaming live on Saturdays, 8 to 11 a.m. Okay, all that taken care of. Now let's talk to Nathan Wyeth. He's with Octopus EV, part of the Octopus Energy Group, and they offer EV leasing. And so, Wyeth, thanks so much for joining us, sir. Nathan, how are you?
I'm good. My pleasure. Glad to be here.
Thank you
Don,
so much.
Mike, Jeff,
Yeah, well,
great to be live with you. I'm glad you have electricity and on the air.
Yeah, we are too. And I see that we have leasee Ashley Greenlee with us as well. Look at that smile on her face. She is so thrilled to be leasing an Octopus car.
Now,
yes.
Ash?
I am. Honestly,
So what kind of EV did you lease?
I have a Tesla Model 3 long range, so a fun little car.
Well, that's interesting because my daughter, the youngest, that lives in Denver, she just bought a brand new Model 3 and absolutely loves it. And so all of that's fine, well, and good. But so, Nathan, what is it about Octopus EV that's different from any other leasing company that leases vehicles?
Well, there's a few things that set us apart, starting with the name Octopus. Probably not where you expect to get a car from, but we like to say we have pre-owned electric cars, and everything else about us is brand new. So our mission is to make it easier and lower costs for Americans to start driving electric. We think there are millions of Americans today whose daily driving with an electric car can save them money on gas and provide a great ride. And so we make that available in 1 to 4 year lease terms. And like I said, we lease pre-owned electric cars. So we give you a car in great condition. We vetted it. We make sure it's in good, the battery is in good health. And we give it to you for a couple thousand, maybe even $5,000 or $7,000 less than you might pay over the course of a 3-year lease, for example, if you're leasing a new electric car.
So how many miles do these vehicles, these used EVs, typically have?
Yeah, this is one of the most frequent questions we get. We're doing mostly 2, 3, 4-year-old models, and so on average, they have 30,000 miles on them. Some vary. We just delivered one with 15,000 miles. Some are a little higher, up to into the 40s. But I think there's something that you may know because you're car guys that many people I think have not yet found out or may discover in the coming years, which is that electric cars drive great after years and after you put a lot of miles on them. Electric motors run smooth. That smooth, silent drive experience just continues year after year.
And I guess that the other question is, how long after you've done, let's just say 30,000 miles on an EV, how much does that take off from the actual brand new battery as opposed to a 30,000 mile battery?
Great question. So what we now are getting more and more data because there's been electric cars on the road for longer and longer. So you actually have the track record to get a good sense of what's going to happen with these cars as they age. And what we've seen, and you can look at some really interesting graphs that Tesla shares going back to Model S's that were, go back to 2014, 10 years old now. And what you see is that in the first year or two, first 10 or 20,000 miles, you see a dip in battery range, a little bit of battery degradation, but then it really smooths out and is very stable for a long time. So you might get down to 95% of your battery range after the first year or two, but then you might drive 200,000 miles on that battery and be at 90% or 88%.
For some reason, the number of 140,000 miles comes to mind, and I don't know where I came up with that. I don't know whether that's the average battery life of an EV. Do you know anything about 140,000?
So most manufacturers put 100,000 miles, give or take, and an 8-year warranty on the electric drivetrain.
Yeah.
But I think we haven't yet seen how long these batteries are going to last because honestly, we just aren't there yet in the maturity of the technology.
So Nathan, where do you get your inventory from for these pre-owned lease for like Ashley's purchase or lease? Where do you get your inventory? Is it from individuals, trade-ins? You buy them from individuals, or are they part of this like a rental car company that maybe gets rid of their inventory?
Great question. So we source from a range of different places. We work with one of the largest dealership groups in the country as our procurement and vehicle ops partner. And so we work with them to look across really the whole landscape. So trade-ins, there may be vehicles coming from the wholesale market. There may be vehicles coming from fleets. The important thing is that we have a really rigorous standard so that a customer can know that they get a car from us that is going to be in great condition. That's certainly on the mechanical side, as well as the cosmetic side. So we have high standards on both. But I think, it's also worth considering when you go and buy a pre-owned car, you have to make that choice of whether to buy an extended warranty. With a lease, we actually take a lot of responsibility for the condition of that car. So we guarantee the condition throughout the lease period, and we extend, if it goes past the original manufacturer's warranty, we extend that for the life of the lease.
Let me turn to Ashley here for a second. Ashley, what motivated you to go the used route as opposed to buying new? Was it just price?
Honestly, yeah, that was the driving factor, price. Initially, when I was searching to purchase a car, I wanted to go the traditional route, brand new off the lot, go to the dealership, and I found out that the car economy is much different now than it was last time I bought a brand new car.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so the monthly payment, my last monthly payment was only $260. I was looking at brand new cars that $400, $500 a month. So I was just like, I don't want that.
But honey, you can afford it. Just go ahead.
No, I'd much rather stick to my budget just to be financially responsible. So going the used route was the better choice for me.
So how did you find Octopus of all places that sell used cars?
I know. Honestly, after looking and going to the dealership, having trouble with the whole back and forth deal, even with me being pre-approved,
yeah,
I walked away kind of just
disappointed, discouraged. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's very frustrating.
Exactly. So I went online and I searched for leasing companies. Like, well, maybe I should go that route. Maybe that would be a better fit for me right now. And honestly, a quick Google search, I found Octopus EV and did a little research and found out about them being in the UK, and they had positive reviews over there. So I was like, you know what? What's 3 years?
Well, and that's an interesting note. Did the Octopus name kind of draw you there?
I think it was the fact that it was pink that drew me. Yeah.
Wow. See, we're trying to get into the marketing side of Nathan's thought process here, so that's part of it, I guess. I find it interesting, and first of all, it's a lease. It's not you're not. Can she purchase the car after the lease is over with, Nathan?
Right now, we don't have a buyout option, but we do allow you to bring the car back, and we can start you off on a new lease, and we'll find the next great electric car for you when you're ready.
Yeah, and how does insurance work on the lease? Is it part of the lease?
So there's a lot of things included in the Octopus electric vehicles lease, which we hadn't yet touched on. We include all the scheduled maintenance. We send a mobile mechanic to perform that maintenance. And if you live in a home where you get Octopus Energy for your electricity, you actually get free charging. So there's a really interesting bundle.
But wait a minute, stop right there. Do I get Octopus Energy here in Houston, Texas?
You should. But I'll come back to that. To answer your question, insurance is just like a regular personal policy. So I think, Ashley, you went and found the right insurance policy to fit you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, indeed. Honestly, I just transferred with my old insurance company. I just placed Octopus on it, and everything was easy. My rate didn't go up that much. I want to say it went up like $12, so it didn't change my budget too much.
So there's a lot of talk about the infrastructure and charging. What did you have to do anything different, Ashley, for your home, your apartment where you live for charging, or is it something that is just in your area that you're going to just use
you go to a
charging
public charging
exactly.
facility?
So both. I do live in an apartment complex that has EV charging. Octopus EV, they provided me with a little nozzle that I can just attach to it so I can charge it at home. Or I do live in an area where a lot of the HEBs and there are quite a few superchargers near me. So even when those spots at my apartment complex are full, I can just go 1.5 miles up the street and I can charge my car.
Now you said HEB, so you're in Texas. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Houston,
Okay,
Texas.
very nice. Okay, Nathan, sorry to interrupt. I had to ask that question.
Yeah. No, it's a great question. People wonder, am I ready for an electric car? Is an electric car ready for my life? We look at it this way. It's a new technology. It's going to work for some people today and more people in the future. But today, there's really two big boxes to check. And if you can check these boxes, then it could probably work really well for you. So one box is, do you have a place where you can, at home, where you can park the car and charge it overnight? So if you have a driveway or a garage, the answer is yes. Or if you live in an apartment building like Ashley, where there's a charger installed, the answer is yes. The second box is, do you have electricity at your house? And pretty much everybody does. So if you have that, and it can be a great daily driver, and it'll get easier and easier to go on long drives, long road trips in the years to come.
So, Nathan, what kind of area are you in Houston as well? Did I understand y'all are in Houston now?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. We're based in Houston.
How big of an area? I'm 100 miles outside of Houston. How big of an area do you cover?
So within the Metro Houston area, we will, when you place an order for a lease with us, we'll bring the car to you. I think we'd have to look at the map and see if we could bring it all the way out to you. We're also happy to have you pick it up. Or if you're further away in Dallas or Austin, we'll ship it to you.
The reason I'm asking is I'm thinking somebody like Ashley, a young lady, she's got to deal with cars like oil changes, things like that. But it sounds like you take care of all that for her.
Well, there's no oil changes in an electric car.
I know, but I mean, for
I just had to zoom you a little bit there, Mars.
There's still fluids and stuff in there. So, but anyway, the regular maintenance, it sounds like they take care of the regular scheduled maintenance. So she doesn't have to deal with that. And I'm thinking, I got granddaughters that are driving now, and I'm thinking, there might be some advantages to this.
Do you take care of the tires too?
That is also included. So the scheduled maintenance, as I mentioned, we have a mobile mechanic service that'll come and do the fluids, check the brakes, do a full inspection every 7,500 miles or so. Anywhere that mobile service is available, we can provide that. In Houston, Dallas, Austin, other cities, and then that package also includes tires when wear and tear means it's time to be replaced. So if you've bought new tires recently, that adds up.
Yep. Yeah, to say the least. Mm-hmm. So how many leases do you have out there right now, Nathan?
We have so globally, Octopus. You mentioned we're part of the Octopus Energy Group. So globally, we have 20,000 EVs leased out to drivers in different parts of the world. We launched here in Texas in January, and we've been kind of building up. You can see on our website, octopusev.us, we've got about a dozen of our customers, their smiling faces and testimonials. And we're doing, I think we delivered 2-3 cars just about every day this past week. So we're picking up speed. And I think it's a great time for people who, like I said, if you've got a driveway or a garage, if you've got a long commute, if you're tired of paying for gas and car maintenance and all that, check us out. And I think the monthly payment that includes all those features is going to be lower than you think. You can see it right on our website. No playing games with the prices. It's all there for you.
Now, Ashley, let me just go ahead and speak for Nathan. Just because of your appearance on today's program of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, he's going to give you at least 2 or 3 months free, no charge, and he's going to pay for the electricity, all of that. Look at the smile on her face.
Hey, gold. Gold.
And the smile on your face, too, going,
Thank you, Nathan.
I'm not.
Thank you for doing that for me.
Yeah. Aren't you glad that you got onto the In-Wheel Time Car Talk talk show.
We're on 50 countries. So.
Yeah, 50 countries.
Well, we're glad to be here. Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to be here, and anytime you want us back, we can talk more about the technical details of electric cars or this free charging offer I mentioned. So Octopus Energy is an electricity provider here in Texas, and if you combine the car and the electricity, you get this.
Well, I think that what you really need to consider now is taking over the entire network of power cable,
infrastructure,
and buy out CenterPoint Energy. I'm sure you'd do very well.
We wish CenterPoint the best of luck.
Exactly, Ashley. It's a joy to talk to you and to get your story on Octopus and your new Model 3 lease. How old is your car?
My car is 2 years old.
2 years old. So you got basically a brand new one. And and how many miles did it have on it when you bought it?
It had
leased it?
around 31.5.
Perfect.
That's average, yeah.
Like we used to say back in the day, you just got it broke in good. That's all.
Exactly.
Well, thank you both, Nathan and Ashley. We sure appreciate you guys joining us this morning. Best of luck to you, Ashley. And Nathan, best of luck to you, too, on your new venture.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all take care, and let's stay in touch.
Right, bye.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. That was interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. And a new daily podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream a live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Hey, thanks for joining us today on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. If you'd ever like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for Inside Jeff Zekin's Mind.
Oh, boy.
Close the door. Let's talk about glass this time.
Well, if you can see clearly now, you can see me. But for early automobiles, a windshield was an add-on option. Didn't know that. So for an extra $100, you could get a windshield mic, speedometer, and headlights.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't until 1915 when Oldsmobile was the first company to provide a windshield as standard equipment. Other manufacturers followed right after that. But out of practical reasons, they put the windshield there because of debris. So let's go back to 1903, Don.
I remember it well.
French chemist Edouard Benedictus stumbled upon an invention entirely by accident.
The man's name was Benedictus?
Yes, that was his last name. The story goes that him and his laboratory assistant were working on a project, and the assistant failed to clean a glass jar which had like a clear cellulose nitrate in it. Now, what had happened was they put it up on the shelf. Benedictus actually knocked the glass off the shelf, but when it hit the ground, it cracked. It didn't break in a lot of pieces. So he said, something's going on there. So he was working on that, trying to perfect it to make this glass sustainable. But in the meantime, a young man by the name of John C. Wood was in Great Britain working on basically the same thing, Mike. He originally started with tree resin, but later switched to cellulose. And then what they would do is they would sandwich this into the pieces of plate glass in between it.
Can't back up.
Sandwich it into the plate glass, so nothing like a good sandwich there. So in 1909, Benedictus got his patent on it, and shortly after that, Mr. Wood got his patent on it, and then in the 20s, laminate glass started becoming the norm in the vehicles for the windshields, Michael. So right around the 20s, a company by the name of Pittsburgh Plate and Glass, which is PPG, developed an economical way to produce the glass. And what they would do is they would take the molten glass, feed it through cooled rollers, and then pull it up 4 stories in a building to make it harden. PPG introduced their own version of safety glass named Duplate. And then in 1937, the federal regulation said, okay, now everybody's got to have plated glass. No more of this other nonsense that they're working with. So tempered was windshield applications, and it's also in architectural stuff today. PPG still makes the glass. They're leaders in automotive glass. And then it's National Traffic Highway Safety Board were the ones that actually instituted this. So that is a little bit about how we get it. I don't know what he's doing.
I know.
I was trying to read your script sideways, and I got off track, and I couldn't back up.
Well, keep going. Right. Keep going. There you go.
There you go.
That's how they roll it out, and then they put it up in the machine, and it takes it up 4 stories, and there's a little bit of the plant there. Kind of messy, and those are the safety glass logos. There you go.
My bad. Sorry.
That's all right.
I thought, why
You're
are
good,
we
Michael.
hanging on the broken glass?
Well, I kept thinking we need to go back to that first one, and I just I couldn't back up. That's what I get for thinking.
Time now for this hour's car review. 2024 Volkswagen Atlas. This is their big SUV. Comes in these trim levels: SE, SE with Tech, SEL, SEL Premium, and R-Line. I had the SE. This is called a small SUV. We're going to call it a midsize, all right?
Okay.
Seats 7, because it's a 3-row. Exterior changes, all new in 2018, and lots of updates for 2024. Horizontal grille element with some trim levels, faux lower skid plate treatment, pronounced wheel well bulges on this vehicle. The fake dual exhaust ports in the back end, and attractive rear lighting as well. Got some good-looking wheels, too. Mm-hmm. And they're not all the brushed metal. Some of them. See, there's one that's got a different kind of grille. That's the R, which is the hot rod version, if you will. We didn't have that. We had the SE. What I liked about it, the overall attractive look and stance. What could use improvement? Nothing. Interior highlights. Roomy for a 3-row. And I rarely see that because most of the time these manufacturers cram the 3rd row into the back and there's really no leg room. Yep. This one actually does. It has leg room back there. Quality materials with attractive design elements in the interior. Handy storage under the center console. It's got a little pass-through area so the ladies can put their purse under there, whatever you'd like to. Easy-to-use infotainment system and a thumb finger shifter. I don't know how else to do it. It's a thumb and finger shifter that you kind of move back and forth.
Oh, darn.
Maybe it's in this video. I don't know. But it's different, and it works well. I like it. What I liked about the vehicle, the interior, I like the overall comfort
There's
level. There you go, right there. What could use improvement? The fuel gauge is too small. Now, you can blame it on my old tired eyes, but I still think it's too small. It's too hard to read. And you can't tell when you got a half a tank.
Oh.
It just doesn't do it for me. So VW, go back to school on the fuel gauge, would you? 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged motor that turns out 269 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. 8-speed automatic transmission with a tow rating of 5,000 pounds. Gets 20 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway for a combined of 23. Not bad. I got 19.8 over 310 miles. What I liked about it, gets you on the freeway just fine. What could use improvement? It has this odd sound from under the hood that kind of goes like this.
Okay.
I don't understand what it's from.
Did you cough after that?
Were you sleeping?
No, seriously. So you step on the accelerator pedal and it goes, and then you let off the accelerator pedal or then they go. Well, I don't know what is that?
Don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Oh, we can make up some stuff.
I know. I think we will.
I knew a guy one time. He was a disc jockey, and he was a heavy set kind of guy. And I didn't actually go into the studio. He had the studio door open. I just walked past it, but I could hear him in there breathing, going.
So you thought of this guy, did you?
But I thought of this guy because that's what it comes out under the hood. I don't understand. Anyway, I love the car-like ride of this. What could use improvement? Nothing other than the breathing. Base trim price, $37,995. Price is tested, $39,075. Base price, $37,995.
Okay.
All of the stuff is included in the price. I like that. Competitors for a 3-row now, okay? 3-row vehicle. All are Asian. Kia Telluride, $35,990. Toyota Grand Highlander, $43,320. And the Honda Pilot, $37,090.
Maybe it was the Darth Vader version.
Maybe it was. I didn't know.
I am your Volkswagen.
Oh, gosh.
Let's redo that review.
No, I'm not going to read. They'll have to figure that one out themselves. Today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. We continue with our show after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories. Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It's on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
You got the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming up. We're going to talk to Michael Wooding. Is he available yet? Maybe.
Kind of. He's
I got the shaky hand going over here from Mr. Mars.
It's better than the stink eye.
The stink eye. Auto Appraisal Network. Jeff has the cruise-in calendar. We'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley is back from vacation, but he's sleeping in late today. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. So we don't have our guest.
Yeah, that outage, that big outage that's got Delta and everybody shut down. Well, it took out his network, so he's on a different computer. We tried it yesterday and it worked, but he's having a little trouble getting it in today.
Wah, wah.
That doesn't do us any good.
I understand. We're working.
He's going to have to go
now.
down to the Walgreens store or something and get on their system.
Well, I'm thinking about if something don't work real quick, we're going to go to the phone.
Okay. And he's down in San Leon?
No.
It's not San Leon. God, where did that come from? That's a Mars thing. San Leon.
Well, theoretically, it's...
Mars, we're making fun of you over here.
Buddy. Sorry, man.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Theoretically.
Haven't used that one in a long time.
We haven't, actually. No. Mars?
Yes, sir.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
It's a new word. There's a theory involved in it, but we're not quite sure theoretically what it is.
Thesaurus.
A thesaurus. So I got a couple of stories making news headlines, and we're going to fill in with that while we have the opportunity.
Okey-dokey.
Federal monitor tasked with overseeing the UAW says a culture of fear and retribution is still pervasive within the union and that it has been slow to implement some reforms, according to a new report. Court-appointed monitor Neil Borofsky, in his 10th status report since being assigned oversight in 2020 as part of the union's consent decree with the federal government, argued the UAW must do more to safeguard against corruption. Mm-hmm. It's the latest in a string of criticisms Borofsky has levied against UAW President Shawn Fain and his leadership team, including accusations that Fain's office is failing to promptly respond to document requests related to investigations into potential wrongdoing. UAW spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The Detroit News first reported on the Monitor's latest findings. This story and all the rest of them here from Automotive News. Here's one that I don't know as if has made its way to Houston yet, but it probably will. A car theft ring, likely operating out of Detroit, is targeting dealerships, smashing through display windows and stealing cars to dismantle and sell for parts, according to Michigan State Police. Last week, 8 dealerships were targeted with cars stolen from 4 of them. While the attacks were concentrated in Macomb County, Dodge, General Motors, and Chevrolet dealerships in Monroe County in Michigan were also recently targeted by what police believe is the same crime ring. Auto retail industry experts say they have seen an uptick in vehicle theft at dealerships over the past few years, and 2023 was on pace to be a record-breaking year, according to a National Insurance Crime Bureau spokesperson. Envy Auto Group in St. Clair Shores had a $65,000 BMW stolen this week after thieves drove through the display window. And on July 10th, A&B Motors Gradient, is it Gradio or Gradient? I think it's Gradient. In Roseville, Michigan, had 3 vehicles stolen.
Where is it? Gratiot. It's called Gratiot in Roseville. Yeah. It's a street. Motors Gratiot. Gratiot is called the street, yeah.
Okay. Had 3 vehicles stolen after thieves crashed through a fence.
Huh.
Al Tiano, owner of A&B Motors, said in his 31 years of business, he had never had a car stolen from his lot. 2 of the cars showed up in Detroit. One was found smashed into a tree. Inside was a 14-year-old boy who was taken into custody.
Now, so they're driving through the showroom. The keys aren't in the cars in the showroom. They're locked up somewhere.
I don't know.
In secret.
Yeah, well, you would think.
And what are they towing them out? I mean, I don't know. Hot wiring them? You can't hot wire them.
Gone in 60 seconds. That was one of the deals. They threw a brick through the window and went over to the key box, busted the lock off it, and drove them out.
So you'd have to have some sort of inside skinny on how to get to the car.
Too. And I know at the Cadillac dealerships that I frequent, they've got it. It's all computer generated. You got to have your thumbprint, and you got to have all kinds of security just to get into that box to get the key.
Well, that's too much trouble for Hollywood.
Well, I just can't understand how could they do that.
Anderson Economic Group estimated dealerships lost 56,000 new vehicle sales and more than $1 billion between June 19th and July 15th because of the CDK global cyber attacks and subsequent software outages. Alan Liska, a threat analyst at Recorded Future, attributed the CDK cyber attack to a hacking group, Black Suit, according to a Bloomberg June 24th report. On June 21st, about 387 Bitcoin worth, more than $25 million, was sent to an address assessed by TRM Labs to be controlled by the ransomware group Black Suit, according to a statement from Blockchain Intelligence. 3 unidentified sources said CDK likely made that payment, according to CNN. CDK has not responded to a July 15th email request for comment. And if you remember, CDK is the global software firm that I would say the majority of dealerships buy or lease or however you want to call it, and put it in their dealership, and it takes care of new car inventory, used car inventory, other sales, parts, service, finance. It does everything for a dealership. Imagine it getting hacked and it's offline.
Well, or like this week, CrowdStrike they say it's a coding error that shut the world down as far as airplanes.
Shut the world down, yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, just boom. And they're still not recovered from that. DPS or nobody else.
Do I see him there?
Yeah, he's
here.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Auto Appraisal Network, live and in living color, is Michael Wooding, sometimes known to what friends he has left as Woody. Mr. Woody, it's good to see you, sir.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
We're great. We're on time. How about you?
Well, I've had computer issues all week and still haven't got them all worked out, but I was able to get this going.
Well, that's good. We're glad that you are here. We're just razzing you, as we always do, and you joined the rest of a billion other people that had computer problems this week because of a cyber attack.
But they were on time.
Yeah, I bet they were on time. That's right. How the heck are you?
Well, doing pretty good. A couple of little medical issues I'm always dealing with, as you get older.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's pretty good. Went through the storm with nothing but tree limbs and debris, but no damage.
Well, speaking of the storm, we wanted to talk to you about storm values, if you want to call it that, and insurance companies in what it does for my 2001 Corvette, to use as an example, with 35,000 miles on it. Now, gladly, I did something that I thought was the right thing to do, and as it turned out it was. I drove my car up to the shopping center that has a concrete garage, put it down on the first floor down there so it was greatly protected. And I went back there. Well, I did, and I went back the next morning, and picked it up. But it made it through the storm without any problems to it. And yeah, and so I mean, it's better than sitting under a 75-year-old oak tree that's next door that has limbs falling out of it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't want to take it to the church parking lot over here because it was wide open. As it turns out, that was okay. But I didn't know what was going to be flying around.
You never know.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine that there are people that are going, oh, my gosh, I wish I'd have done something to protect my car. What does that do to values of some of the cars that you appraise?
Well, I do the classic cars, and those are a little bit different story than the newer cars. Today's cars have so much electronics in them, and a lot of that is buried under the seat and in the floorboard and low on the firewall. So depending on how high the water gets on the car is how much damage or whether the car is going to be totaled or not. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's some steps that you really need to follow that can benefit you, because what the insurance companies tend to do is they're going to give you wholesale value for the car. And what they do, they take fair market and they start deducting things to get it down to wholesale value. And so when you get the offer for your flooded car from insurance, it's way lower than you think the value of that car is. If you went online and Googled one for sale, you'll see that it's selling for a whole lot more than what they offered you for yours. So there's several things that you can do to mitigate this process. The first thing is document the damage, okay? The car is usually going to go first to a body shop of some sort, your preference or where they send it or whatever. Try to get that car to stay there as long as possible. Because what the insurance companies do is they get it there, they make a quick assessment. They don't even come look at the car. They just say, how deep was it flooded, and total it from that point on. Okay? So you got to really document what's happened to the car. When you leave it in the floodwater, take a picture of it in the floodwater. When it's finally dry and you can get the car, take some pictures of how high the water got on the car, okay, and the condition of the car at that point, okay? Because what will happen is, if it goes to the body shop, they total it, they immediately take it over to one of these storage facilities like Coparts over off of Hardy Road. And it's a nightmare what happens to the car after that. It's handled with a forklift. It's moved into a position out there, and trying to get in, photograph, see the car, it's virtually an impossible task, but it can be done, but very difficult. I've gotten to the point where I don't do it anymore because it's just such a hassle at that facility. And the others are just the same. You have to get insurance approval. You have to do this. You have to do that. The only way I've found to circumvent that is have the owner meet me there and tell the place that they need to get personal items out of the car. Then they'll go get the car, forklift it up front for the owner to do that, and while the car's there, I can photograph it, okay? But that's where we gain the edge in negotiating on this price, is we actually look at the car, okay? And most policies state that they have to pay you fair market value, okay? So you've upgraded the wheels on the car. You've put in a higher cost stereo. You've got receipts for the things that you added to the car, okay? Those can come into play. So you want to keep as many of those as possible, have those available, but have that car photographed and documented as best you can. Because like I say, the insurance companies don't physically come out and look at it. So that's where you can argue, and then we produce a report that you can send to them that says, this is the true fair market value of this car.
That could be several $1,000s.
It usually is. It usually is.
And
So
even if the car is totaled and you can't drive it, it won't start. And even if it did start, you probably don't want the car anymore.
do not want to. That's exactly right. You want to assess the damage to the car. Take pictures of the watermark, and disconnect the battery. Biggest thing you can do. Disconnect the battery when the car starts. When you're going to leave it, try to disconnect the battery.
Why? Why is that?
Because the electronics will be less impacted throughout the rest of the car that didn't get wet if the battery's disconnected.
Gotcha.
If the battery's connected and something down low gets wet, it's going to send codes and signals and shut everything else down. So you want to disconnect that to cause as little damage to the car as possible. Okay?
Yeah.
So, Woody, let me ask you this before you get too far off here. So it's at the body shop. It's been there as long as it's going to stay there. They haven't totaled it. Is it possible that it still goes to one of those storage facilities?
No, only if they determine that they're going to total it.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, today it doesn't take much. I just did a diminished value on a 2021 S60 Volvo that had a dent in the front, had an accident, had a dent right in the center of the front end that if it had been anywhere else on the car, you could still drive the car easily. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that major of an impact, but it hit right where the airbag sensor and the camera is in the center of the front of the car. Okay. Didn't even ruin the bumper. Just dented the top of the hood a little bit and the grill. Okay. $26,000 in repair costs.
Oh my God, because of the airbags and stuff?
The airbags went off. They don't just replace the airbag. They pull the entire steering column out of the car and put a new steering column.
Oh my God, that's a Volvo.
Yeah, and all the systems that go with it, yeah.
Yeah, so rather than just replace the airbags in the car, that's the way they determined to do it.
Jeez. Was the car even worth $26,000?
Well, it's the 2021 S60 T5 Momentum Volvo.
It's a $70,000 car.
Very low miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they had to fix it.
Gotcha.
I like fell over when I saw the pictures of the accident and then saw the repair bill.
So listen, we're running out of time here, but I wanted to ask you, is it possible for our viewers, our listeners, to give you a call and get your expert opinion on what they should do if they have a question in circumstances like this?
As soon as they know their car's flooded, okay?
Yeah.
Call me and tell me make sure you track where the car's going. Get that knowledge and call me and say, my car got flooded. It's at this facility. Insurance is going to make an offer on the car. You want to get this in the process before they even do that.
What is that hotline to happiness there at the Wooding residence?
281-636-6879.
6879. Auto Appraisal Network, Michael Wooding, we love you. Thank you. And we're looking forward to our little rendezvous this fall again.
Rendezvous.
Yes, we've got the car show, and I'm expecting a very good turnout.
And when is the date?
September 28th.
September 28th. And that is going to be Woody's Waterfront Car Show.
Right. And no cars newer than 2004 can enter.
I could enter the Corvette.
Yes, you can. Because what we ended up doing, we were getting new Mopars, new Corvettes, and new Mustangs that were dominating the show. And that's not what I set that show up initially.
Sure, of course, yep.
So this year we've added rat rods to our trophies. I don't know if you're into rat rods. I never was until I saw a particular one that just took me away that was done in a Vietnam era. It was a 32 Ford Tudor, but it had a air breather, was a Vietnam era helmet. Had a Maxim machine gun mounted on the side. The shifter was a bayonet. The console was an ammo can. But what really took it over the top was a Charlie Don't Surf sticker on the back.
There you go.
The best thing about that show that he does are the
The cocktails.
The cocktails, I was going to say. The Bloody Marys.
The Bloody Marys,
The Bloody
brother.
Marys.
The outdoor bar.
And I can afford to buy you an extra when this time because I have quit drinking.
Oh, boy.
Okay, well then
We'll wake it up for you.
We'll take your
And
share.
we haven't.
I'm sure you can handle it.
Woody, it's great to talk to you. Thank you, my friend.
Same here. Good seeing you guys.
You too,
Tell
man.
the folks to call me with these flooded cars and let's get them the money they deserve.
You got it. Thanks so much. Michael Wooding with the Auto Appraisal Network, 281-636-6879. Did we take a break?
Not
we
yet.
need to do
Well,
that, don't
we're
we?
gonna do that right now.
All right, let's do that right now. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Back after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Time now for the Cruise In calendar.
Yeah, going to make it quick here today, Saturday. We've got one going on right now, and it goes till 3 p.m. It's called the 5-0 Car Show. It's at 3825 Highway 36 in Rosenberg, Texas. Now, what this is, attendees can support the Rosenberg Police Explorers. They showcase their automobile treasures, some of the finest rides in the area. For more information, you can talk to Tim Cross at tcross@rosenbergtexas.gov. It's for a good cause. Then moving quickly till tomorrow, you got one at 3 p.m. It is the weekly car meetup in where? Willis, Texas, at the
What
D&M.
you talking about,
D&M
Willis?
True Value in Willis, Texas. So those two quick ones. There's many, many more going on. Check out your local guides and the car shows. Talk to people. There's a lot going on.
All right. Thank you. The Coastal Automobile Dealers contingency plan for severe tropical weather is muscle memory. But higher insurance premiums are an added pain point this year, according to some. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, predicts an 85% chance of an above-average Atlantic hurricane season.
Wow.
It expects 17 to 25 named storms. Dealers told Automotive News they are confident in their hurricane readiness, though they plan to closely monitor the weather. And I will tell you, it was a wake-up call.
Yeah, it is.
The stupidest thing, gasoline. People forgot to fill up their tank.
Yeah, we didn't.
I went past filling stations. The line was down the block. Reminded me of the 1979 gas shortage.
Both cars were full of gas. I had the gas tanks for the gas grills all charged up, ready, all filled. Everything's good.
Don't forget the gas.
Yeah.
Lord knows I've got plenty of that. But I just want...
Let's look at the fans on.
Yeah, not that kind of gas. Thank you. All right, Time now for a quick break. We'll be right back.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check out our website, inwheeltime.com. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Tell your car friends about us and share our stuff if you would, please. We'll keep you connected to all things automotive all week long. Send your vacation postcards and hate mail to us through the interweb. The address, and it works, info@inwheeltime.com. And if there are really good letters, we're going to put them on the air.
Yeah, we will.
You know we will. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Daily 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. We post a new episode every day. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday from 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. The In Wheel Time video technical director is We Always Need More, Jeff Zekin. The booking agent, video editor, people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars, and chief engineer, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you'll join us next week here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, July 27th, 8 to 11 a.m. on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you then.